A tremendous day, and here we are for more Little League World Series baseball. Welcome to the Little League World Series on ESPN, presented by T-Mobile. And on this gorgeous afternoon, we have an elimination game on the international side. The kids from Guadalupe, Mexico, taking on the team from Maracaibo, Venezuela. Well, so far, it has been an action-packed Little League World Series. The two undefeateds on the U.S. side, Virginia and Hawaii, both looking great. Hawaii finishing off their second win in a row earlier this afternoon. Meanwhile, on the international side of things, a long trip for both Japan and South Korea to get here. I'm feeling like already it's been worth it for those kids. They have played some super baseball. So those are the two undefeateds on the international side. You got the four who are each 2-0. They don't have to play again till Wednesday. Until then, everybody else has to win every game in this double elimination format. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming alongside David Ross. Great to have you with us on this Monday afternoon. So here it goes. No more big leaguers here in Williamsport, but we got more Little League World Series baseball for you. And our matchup is Mexico against Venezuela. Mexico has a fiery leader on the field, a kid who has caught every inning for them so far, Angel Castillo.
Yeah, Angel Castillo, he is the spark plug of this group. And when you're talking about a leader and what you want, he's the guy. He's going to have fun. He's got the red mohawk rocking, but when he steps on that field, he is serious. Watch here as he kicks the bat on this bunt. He is disgusted with himself, just so frustrated here. He is intense, a perfectly executed 1-2-3 double play, knows how to catch. And yeah, I'm looking around. I'm looking for outs. My pitcher's struggling. I need everybody locked in. Hey, third baseman, lock it in. I'm going to need you. I'm trying to pick guys off.
I think I saw that look from you a time or two.
I've been there.
In your big league career. All right, meanwhile, for Venezuela, this is a team that staved off elimination in their regionals. They've done it already here in Williamsport. Seems to me the fun aspect, maybe with Davis Ordonez leading the way, has been a key for them.
Well, I think that's been key, having the fun. 5 elimination games they've overcome to get here, and another one the other day. Davis Ordonez is a guy that has a lot of fun, nicknamed Chicken Little, and he's actually set such a great example on the field. Big leaguers are copying him. You think big leaguers aren't watching this Little League World Series? Take a look at Yasiel Puig right here against CC Sabathia. Davies, you got to be honored when big leaguers are mimicking you in the box.
It makes me laugh every single time. You got to love that. The big leaguers are watching, and I'm sure they're watching again this afternoon. Elimination game on the international side. Mexico, Venezuela, first pitch from Williamsport. Coming up next.
The Little League World Series is presented by T-Mobile. Home or away, T-Mobile now connects 99% of Little League families on America's network. And in part by Audi. And State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
Toque de pelota. Tiro malo, la primera, van a anotar. Y aquí viene la carrera de México. Se va la pelota y va hacia abajo para anotar. Vivo los mexicanos. Patacito que controla Santiago. Aquí se va a acabar. ¡Out de primera! ¡México! ¡Sí, señores!
Welcome back to the 2019 Little League World Series. I'm Sebastian Salazar. Mexico and Venezuela about to face off, and you would be hard-pressed to find a louder or deeper fan base than La Porra Mexicana. Remember, at the beginning of the tournament, we told you it started with 54 people who did a 48-hour bus ride from Guadalupe, Nuevo León, all the way here to Williamsport. But La Porra Mexicana, they never stop growing. Since then, 30 more people have arrived from Mexico. Add on top of that, friends and family who have driven from as far as Kansas, Texas, and Virginia. We got a group now that's around 100 deep. And yes, they are very ready for today's game.
All right, Sebastian, that is cool to see. The support in the stands for the kids from Guadalupe, a big city just outside Monterrey, Mexico. Great baseball city in Mexico. Let's meet the kids from Guadalupe, brought to you by Office Depot.
Mi nombre es Eric Vigil y mi jugador favorito es José Altuve. Mi nombre es Emiliano Garza y mi actor favorito es Jason Statham. Mi nombre es Ángel Reina y mi equipo favorito de béisbol es LLWS. Mi nombre es Eugenio Hernández y mi cantante favorito es Marshmello. Mi nombre es Alan Gutiérrez y mi emoji favorito es serio.
Mi nombre es Sebastián Sauceda y mi cantante favorito es Post Malone.
Mi nombre es Daniel Orozco, mi jugador favorito es José Altuve.
Mi nombre es Carlos Moreno y mi comida favorita es el espagueti.
Mi nombre es Jesús Saí Garza y mi jugador favorito es Javier Báez.
Mi nombre es Santiago Leija y mi emoji favorito es gafas de sol.
Mi nombre es Nicolás Villarreal y mi libro favorito es Harry Potter.
Mi nombre es Ángel Castillo y mi equipo favorito es Chicago Cubs.
Mi nombre es Elliot Sánchez y mi serie favorita son Los Simpsons.
Mi nombre es Marcelo Herrera y mi emoji favorito es La Cara Loca.
The line, and the pitcher they will face is Luis Atencio, the right-hander.
Yeah, you talk to this coaching staff, they rave about what a great teammate and leader Luis is. He likes to pitch inside, which is unique to me at this level. Gonna try to crowd these Mexican hitters early on.
Pastor Aleman, the German Shepherd, that's his nickname, on the mound. And as much for the Pastor part as for the reference to the watchdog, because Luis is a sweet kid. And you said it, he's a leader spiritually, emotionally for this team. He's on the mound, and we are ready to go here. Mexico, the visiting team, batting in the top of the first. And a first pitch strike to Eric Vigil, the shortstop today for Mexico. I bet that Eric and his teammates were thrilled to watch Javi Baez on the field at Bowman last night.
Last night, I can't get over that. I'm still thinking about that day we had yesterday, but just listening to that great venue, about 2,500 people in that small stadium over at Bowman Field. You could hear the kids oohing and ahhing on every play, and the home run that Anthony Rizzo hit and the play up the middle that Javi Baez made. Some fun stuff yesterday here in Williamsport.
And the Cubs just seemed to totally, I mean, the Pirates did too, but I thought some of those star players for the Cubs, especially Anthony Rizzo and Javi Baez, just were so into being there and being the center of attention for the kids.
Well, it was nice just to see them embrace the moment. I know it's hard as a Major League player in the middle of the season to travel on a game day, and it was hot here yesterday and in midday when they were walking around here, and then got a lot to go on in a game that mattered for that group. I mean, yeah, big time in the thick of this race. So, yeah, it was a great day and see the players embrace it. I bet everybody had a good time.
Rizzo got rewarded. He was like the number one guy. He went down the hill. He played catch with some kids. He was mingling with the Italian team, leading cheers and songs in the bus. And he hit a home run. He had a huge game.
And he got the jersey shake. We're having everybody buy into this little Yasiel Puig we saw. I mean, Anthony Rizzo doing the jersey shake. It was a great day yesterday, and that's right, things pay off. If you have some fun and turn off for a minute, become a kid again, good things can happen, and he had a great day yesterday.
I actually believe that. I do.
I do too. Good karma goes a long way, I think.
So now we focus on this Little League World Series. The big leaguers are back to their regular jobs. Eric's mom is watching intently with that vocal, emotional crowd for the Mexican kids, and a line drive base hit to start the game.
Eric's their contact guy, and that's exactly what he does. Get on base for this Mexican group early on. They haven't really swung the bats well so far in this tournament, but you see him giving a little
What was
handshake.
that?
I almost looked like Fernando Rodney, like shooting the arrow. I don't know what that was.
It was
pretty cool.
In that same family, for sure. That's Eric's first hit here in Williamsport.
Give it to me, Eric. Here it is. Look at the dugout. Give him some love. Boom.
Maybe a combo Fernando Rodney and Thor, something like that.
Some kind of lightning bolt, right?
Elliot Sanchez is going to go in and run. So Eric gets his first Little League World Series hit to start the game for Mexico. And a bunt attempt from Angel Reina. He is going to be the catcher. You know, we spotlighted Angel Castillo. What a great job he's done as the catcher for Mexico. We may well see Angel behind the plate again today, but this Mexican team changing it up a little bit.
Well, I think that's a huge luxury to have in this tournament. Catching so important here with balls getting by and extra bases. Really a luxury to have two good catchers that you can trust in an environment like this.
It's one of the things you and I most like about watching the Little League World Series is watching the catchers.
And I may be a little more biased than you, but we've talked about it a little bit, and it's the skill set they have back there with the framing and blocking and throwing the ball around. We've seen some great catching plays so far in this tournament.
I guarantee you, Angel, even if he's playing second today, is going to be just as fiery.
Diviértase. Quítate los nervios, vamos, nosotros los nervios, vamos.
All right, a little pep talk in an 0-2 count. And the message mostly was have fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a hard part. Like, these kids have fun, but then when you get out here on the stage, you get nervous, especially in a bunting attempt here. Things picking up here early on in this game.
He strikes out swinging for out number one. Well, you're right, and that's what we admire about a lot of these kids is that for the parents, for the coaches, for the broadcasters, hey, this is elimination time. You want to win the title? And yet the players just seem to shrug that off. So many of them when they get on the field. Our Meet the Players is brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Sebastian Salceda is a great story. And the top line there mostly tells the story. He was cut from this team, from his Little League team last year. I mean, he may be the most all-around talented player on this team. Plays center field. We're going to see him pitch today. He bats third. Just a year ago, he didn't make his team.
Well, and I think that this topic we were just talking about, having fun, that's what the coaches emphasized to him. Hey, you've got the skill set. Let's have some fun. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. When you do that, we tense up. I remember late in my career, even at the big league level, when I started having more fun, I became a better player. It's like it worked out here for Sebastian.
Close, but called a ball, so it's 1-2.
It's so nice to hear those stories, too. Cut from a team. We think that these kids have been great their entire lives, right? And they're on this level because they're just put a good group together. But you see some of these kids get cut and fight back is always nice.
That one is strike three. Good pitch from Luis Atencio. 2 down. It's a good lesson.
It is. I mean, never give up. Continue to get worked up. Great breaking ball here from Atencio. Luis flips this ball in here, coming over top, right down the middle strike. Starts up high. Tough one to swing at.
Who you are at age 10 is not who you are at age 12, is not who you are at age 15, and on and on. That one is smoked into center field, and Angel Castillo's got himself a hit.
Gives himself a little clap as he rounds first base, and he got a little shake going. Angel, this is the fire spark plug we talked about in the open. Nice swing, jumping on it early. He's so intense. Great swing, nice hands, throwing the hands at it. A little bat flip here and give him some love in the dugout. I love it. Everybody's buying in.
Take that, Davies Ordonez. The hips can shake for him. The hips can shake for me. So a good chance here for Mexico. And a breaking ball in the dirt skips away. That's going to advance both runners. Each move up 60 feet. Second and third, 2 outs. With Santiago Leja as the hitter. Leja is the guy who was so great on the mound for Mexico in their opening round win. Very proud to be on this Mexican Little League team. And he lines one into right field for a base hit. That'll score at least one. Castillo's going to get the stop sign. That's the kid in right field who's got the big arm, but the ball kicks away. So that will allow a second run to score. It is 2-0 Mexico.
Santiago laces this ball to right. We talked about how important catching is. The wild pitch, unable to block, and then a line drive second and third from Santiago. Great throw from Davrik in right, just a little bit short. Can't keep it in front, tries to block it, lets that second run score. And Mexico is fired up.
Hey, esos pichos están, no puede ser posible, recta pega y antes tan cómoda la bola para allá. Ponte agresivo, está muy pasivo, demasiado pasivo. Tiene esa bola para allá con el corazón. ¿Qué pasa? Vamos a ponerle, hay 2 outs, vamos. Hombre.
All right, so Luis Gonzalez, the manager of this Venezuelan team, for all the talk, and it's well earned, of how much fun those kids are having and how loose they have stayed. That was a little more urgent of a pep talk.
Yeah, I mean, I think just locking it in is early on in today's game. These Mexican teams seem to have more energy and seem to be a little more focused so far in this game at least at the plate.
Trying to get the third out, Venezuela, Marcelo Herrera, who is a big kid who's got some power, and that one squirts by the catcher. You know, Hendrik Maestre, we have seen him catch both games in this Little League World Series, and he's done a really good job.
He's done a great job. I think the one that got by him earlier was just a tough pitch to block. That one there just went through the 5-hole, just can't get that glove all the way down. Sometimes there's a little bit of shadows right behind him where we can't see exactly where that ball went, but
that one is popped up way up there with the bright sun up above. The shortstop, Jonathan Rangel, makes the catch, and that retires the side. But what a start for Mexico. 2 runs right away, middle of the first. And the kids from Mexico take a 2-0 lead. Maracaibo, Venezuela is one of the great baseball cities in the world. It's also a very beautiful city, the beloved land of the sun. I can't wait to meet the kids from Maracaibo, brought to you by Office Depot.
Mi nombre es Randy Soto y mi comida favorita es la hamburguesa. Mi nombre es Eduardo Pinto y mi comida favorita es pasticho. Mi nombre es Brian Apalmo y mi comida favorita es el chaguarma. Mi nombre es David Ordóñez y mi emoji favorito es Soccer Ball.
Mi nombre es Ibrahim Ruiz. Mi actor favorito es Silvestre Dangond.
Mi nombre es Andrew Maestre y mi jugador favorito de béisbol es Wilson Contreras.
Mi nombre es Jonathan Rangel y mi atleta favorito Usain Bolt.
Mi nombre es Adrián Salcedo y mi jugador favorito de béisbol es Endrin Sá.
Mi nombre es Luis Atencio y mi actor favorito es William Smith.
Mi nombre es Juan Fuentes. Mi comida favorita es el perro caliente.
Mi nombre es David Mayor y mi cantante favorito es Daddy Yankee.
Mi nombre es Brandon Fernández y mi jugador favorito de béisbol es Ronald Acuña.
Mi nombre es Moisés Conchi y mi atleta favorito es Lionel Messi.
All right, so that is the team from Maracaibo, Venezuela. It's a great story. They are kids who have fought through some real adversity to get here to Williamsport, and now they have to fight for their championship lives. They have won 5 straight elimination games between their regional and this Little League World Series. Trying to do that again here today. The pitcher they will face is 12-year-old Sebastian Salcedo. We talked about his story of being cut from his Little League team, making it back this year and getting all the way to the Little League World Series.
And this Mexico team is kind of short on pitching. They had to use their main guys earlier. Sebastian is going to be the guy. Normally their closer they like to use late in games. They're going to have to get some depth out of him if they're going to go anywhere to get back to those great pitching, that great pitching they have.
It's a good point, and I'm sure he knows it. I'm sure he knows that today is a day where they need him to go as long in this game as he possibly can. First pitch to Randy Soto leading off for Venezuela's ball 1.
And it's funny to me, you know, as much as we talked about Sebastian's story and how much he's improved and not making the team, now he's on the mound in the most important game for Mexico in this tournament.
Want to know the count? Soto shows a bunt and takes a strike. Good fastball right there on the outside. It's Jesus Garza who is doing the catching. So Angel Castillo, who's done such a great job in that spot, is out playing second base. Jesus will try to follow in his footsteps, and the early looks are he's very comfortable behind home plate. Big booming voice of Matthew Lacombe, our home plate umpire, wearing the microphone. He has come here to Williamsport from Quebec.
No matter where Angel is on the field, now he's at second base. We're going to see lots of talk and chatter. He's already directing these guys about where the sun is in case for a pop fly in the outfield.
Ball.
That one misses inside. 2-2. There's Angel wearing that number 18 jersey.
He's must-watch TV.
He is. That is a kid who just loves to be out there on the ball field. That one is hit well to right center field. A long way back there and off the bottom of the wall. How about the leadoff hitter, Randy Soto, showing some power? It's a leadoff double.
Randy Soto, he's been their MVP for me. Last game, complete game shutout, setting the tone early on, contact hitter. This guy gets this breaking ball right center and nice swing, just throws a hand. He thinks he got it, I think. He watches the outfield like we did, just at the base of the wall for a leadoff double, and the energy is back to Venezuelan side.
After Mexico scores twice to start this game, Now an immediate rally for Venezuela with Jonathan Rangel, outstanding defensive shortstop. But he's a guy who, I mean, the coaches describe him as one of their best players, best hitters. He certainly looks the part in the field. He has not had a hit yet here in Williamsport.
And it does shock me when you talk to their coaches. He's a gap-to-gap hitter, they describe him as. So that usually describes that swing of just a pure, natural, up-the-middle swing, and that's what you want to teach. So he needs to get going if they're going to have some success.
I think you're right. He's one of the keys for Venezuela today. And you hate to put pressure on kids. That's not what we're trying to do. But when you talk about a team that is facing elimination, and those kids who are right in the middle of the lineup are the ones who need to come through.
I talk about it at the big league level all the time. If your great players, the middle of your lineup players, aren't very good, you're not going to have a good year. I don't care how good the rest of the players are. You need your stars, your studs to produce.
So it's 1-1 to Jonathan. He hits that one on the ground to second, right to Castillo, who looks pretty comfortable at second base, just like he does at catcher. It does move the runner to third, so even though it's not a hit, it is an out that sets up Venezuela to score their first run of the game.
One of the things missing, I think, at the big league level, it's just productive outs, and there's one right there. Just a rollover ground ball. Let's get a number back. After you put up a 2-spot by Mexico in the first inning, let's get that guy to third, see if we can get that run and at least cut that deficit in half.
So now Davrik Fuenmayor, the right fielder, who's got a big arm, and he does have a lot of power at the plate. He hits that one to right center field, and that one is gone just over the wall. And just like that, we've got a tie game, 2-2.
Well, Dave, you talked about it. These two guys need to step up and start swinging the bats a little bit better, and they're loving it. Don't hurt him too much. He's got a lot of game left. Look at this beautiful swing here from Davrik. Just inside the baseball, up, behind it. Pulls the hands in nicely, and big finish through the baseball. Big kid getting those hips through, and a line drive right center field home run. Wow. Nice swing.
You know, it continues to be the case that the power in this Little League World Series so far has come on the international side. That ball fouled back out of play. That was a pretty powerful swing from Luis Atencio. Davrik earning those fist bumps, high fives in the dugout. 6 of the 8 home runs so far in this Little League World Series have come on the international side.
Yeah, I got to do the first day over there on the U.S. side and did all 4 games, and we saw 1 home run from the Virginia group. This is where the power's at. The big kids, some big kids over here on the international side, they really got some thump in those bats.
And it is a difference this year. There are fewer home runs. There have been. The bats 2 years now have a different standard, and they're meant to replicate the actions of a wood bat. Plus, you don't have any 13-year-olds for the first time here in Williamsport.
Knocked out 40%, almost just short of 40% of the kids were 13-year-olds, and last year. And you know, I've seen a big difference just in the size a little bit, especially on the U.S. side. A little bit of size, a little scrappier, and we've really seen pitching and defense become really the staple of this Little League World Series.
That has been so far. Who knows? Maybe this game is going to be a little different. We're in the bottom of the first. We've already got 2 runs apiece.
Well, we've also started to see a little bit of that top tier pitching when you get to the second and third guys in the group that are pitching on the pitching staff. That tends to see a little more knocks going around. Yeah,
it's true. This is the part of the tournament where, especially when you got to go on that loser's side, play more games in quicker succession, where your pitching depth gets really tested. And that's the point you were making about Sebastian Saucedo on the mound. Mexico, some years they come with 9 pitchers who can throw close to 70 miles an hour, and they've just got depth for game after game after game. This year's team seems to be a little different.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he went around. Very nice pitch for the first strikeout for Sebastian. They've got 3 different pitchers who are ineligible, not just today, but even if Mexico can win this game, they have to play tomorrow, would not be eligible tomorrow. So that depth is going to be tested for sure.
Yeah, and for me, this we were talking about it with South Korea. They usually come with some guys that have some thump. They've got really more a defensive-oriented group, relying on that special D and pitching that they have.
Fastball right there on the inside. Good pitch to Brando Fernandez, who's been one of the defensive stars in Williamsport. 12 years old, rather, third baseman. And another fastball right in there for strike two.
It's got to be just short of 70 miles an hour. It looks like the ball's exploding. Now they got a nice breaking ball for their closer, but so far doing a decent job. That one home run.
The 0-2 pitch. There's that breaking ball. So if you see two swings and misses, then you go to the breaking ball. The hitter has a pretty good cut at it. Do you go back to the fastball?
I always look at that. That one looked like it backed up a little bit. If he throws the one he threw to Luis before, I had some good depth and was down and away. That one just backed up a little bit on him. Let's see what he goes with.
0-2 pitch. Well, he tried it again. So now it's 2-2. On the ground is short. Kind of an in-between hop, but handled cleanly by Elliot Sanchez for out number 3. What a response, though, from Venezuela. After falling behind early, this swing tied it up.
Beautiful swing, nice finish, and now we got a game again. 0-0.
One of the great treats of the Little League World Series, the big kettle. How many batches has that thing made over the years, do you think?
Oh, man, I don't know, but we're going to need that fresh.
The answer is a lot. Yeah, I could stand to have a little bit of that. Looking for training videos for coaches and umpires. Get free backyard tips, practice plans, drills, videos, and more. Visit littleleagueuniversity.org today. And who knows, maybe some of that will make its way here to Volunteer Stadium. Just take a left when you come into the stadium, walk up to the little chain link fence, walk up the stairs, and
here we are.
Put it right in between Rossi and me. Dave Fleming, David Ross here from Williamsport. 2-2, Mexico and Venezuela. Action-packed first inning in this elimination game. There's a strike to Daniel Orozco, leading off for Mexico here in the second.
Yeah, Daniel loves The Rock. The Rock just got married. I don't know if anybody knows that, but Dwayne Johnson.
Whoa. Is that like breaking celebrity news here?
I don't know. It's like I just happened to turn on my phone today. It was on the first screen, so this morning. So I was like, all right. And then look down and see it's Daniel's favorite actor, so figure I'd throw it out there. A little who doesn't know, there you go.
Now you know. Now you know.
Deep research.
All the prep that Rossi puts in. 2-2 to Daniel Orozco. Now we also know what kind of alerts pop up on your phone.
Little bit of inside David Ross's life.
Oh, gosh. Here's a breaking ball that's high. 3-2. Well, Luis Atencio, he gave up the 2 runs in the first, and part of that was the defensive sloppiness behind him, but his offense right away got 2 runs back. 3-2 in the dirt with the fastball, so that's ball 4.
Luis Atencio on the mound today. Remember, as we've told you throughout this tournament, none of the players on this Venezuelan team actually have any immediate family here in the stands. However, they do have a lot of family watching back home. There's Luis Atencio's family watching on what I'm told is ESPN 3 back in Venezuela. Very happy to be able to bring them this match. And you remember, if you watched Venezuela play already in this tournament, he had 8 family members who live here in the United States come to support him. They've all had to go back to work today, so they're also watching here in the U.S.
All right, Sebastian, thank you very much. It is definitely a big part of the story of this Venezuelan team. That's a bunt attempt and a strike from Carlos Moreno. Because of the political situation, the turmoil in that great country that's going on right now, there is no active U.S. embassy there. So just getting a visa to come here, a huge challenge. You got to go outside the country, fly to Panama just to get the visa. Hard to do just for the players. Rugnet Odor helped fund that effort, even just to get the visa. And so not a single parent is able to be here with these kids in Williamsport.
That's probably the most devastating story that I've heard so far. We've heard a lot of tough stories here in Williamsport and some great ones as well, but just to see it, especially in this game where Mexico has come so strong with all the fans they have here, and to think as a parent that my son or daughter is playing on this field and I wouldn't be here to experience this amazing event, just kind of hurts my heart a little bit.
Way outside, 3-1. So Luis Atencio having a hard time commanding his pitches right now. And Hendrik Maestre, the catcher, wants to come out and have a little chat.
Rossi, I'm with you, man. The fact that these Venezuelan kids don't have any, parents here is heartbreaking. I will say, though, there's a slight silver lining in this cloud, and that's that the Venezuelan expatriate community has really rallied around these kids. I've met folks who have no connection to this team, no connection even to Maracaibo, who have driven from New Jersey, from Rochester. I'm hearing some folks have made it up from Northern Virginia just to be here for these kids. The connection is real.
That's awesome.
Very cool. And I think this team has built up a lot of local support just because people have heard that story. That is a foul ball. Not by much, but foul. That was a close one.
Yeah, I thought this was going to go over the bag. It looks like it just may have had that funky spin, wanted to come back. Just foul. That was close. Umpires are right on top of that.
Yeah, we trust the umpires. They got a good look at it. 3-2, struck him out swinging.
Good job of coming back there from Luis Atencio. Falling behind, getting a nice meeting from his catcher, Maestre, coming back with the breaking ball. Up in the zone. Nice job working your way back.
So now, Emiliano Andarza, the 9th place hitter, left-handed hitter.
Ball.
Venezuela's been watching big league games because, oh my goodness.
I love it. I love when we just talk about it, it appears. But you told me broadcaster's #1 nightmare for food is
kettle corn during the game, but that doesn't mean we can't eat it. It's just hard to eat during the game. You get the little kernels. It's just kind of asking for trouble.
Commercial break, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Or after you got a little ride. Yeah.
Or maybe
Or maybe I'll eat it. I'll just lay out. Yeah. You can do an inning.
2-0 the count, and that is ball 3. Well, and I think the message here, this is the 9th place hitter, and that's not to say that Emiliano can't swing the bat. He can, but he's not a real power hitter. I think Venezuela wants to make him earn his way on base.
Yeah, I think what his catcher, Maestre's, really just be aggressive in the zone.
Ball 4.
That's ball 4. Rossi, it's warm in the bag.
Man.
It's warm. Man. Yeah, that makes me happy. Did you just tear a hole in the bag? What? Isn't that like that's a no-no? You can't. It's just a twist tie.
It was
not
warm. I had to open it. It's just a sneak a little snack.
That. Yeah. You know what? Every
really
rule
good.
is made to be broken.
Really
Every rule is made to be broken.
Got a little action on the field, a little delay. We can snack a little bit.
Are we going to listen into a coach's meeting, or no? We're just doing a pitching change without the meeting.
Changing, maybe a glove
New
change.
Glove? Huh.
Change glove. I got to get my lucky glove. This other one's throwing off my balance.
No, I'm fully supportive of a glove change right now.
Just a mouthful of popcorn.
Yeah. Sorry, America.
Yeah, these new gloves. Well, the kids get the new gloves, and I don't blame them wanting to use these new beautiful gloves that they're provided with, and they match the unis. And if you're not comfortable out there, grab that Old Faithful.
So 2 on, 1 out. That one kicks away, so that's going to advance both runners. Elliot Sanchez getting his first at bat of the game, and now he's got a great chance to put Mexico right back ahead.
Yeah, tough one to block back there for Hendrik Maestre. That fastball down in the dirt is extremely difficult. Hardest pitch to block in baseball is a spiked fastball. He's getting his work. He's got his work cut out for him back there today.
That is coming from somebody whose opinion I respect on that topic. Kettle corn may be different. What pitch is the toughest to block? You are the expert. That one might have been saved by the umpire.
I think that was. Umpire helping you out a little bit. That never hurts. Here again, just a spike fastball that kind of backs up on that side. That glove side is hard to block, especially when that fastball, the umpire saves the day there.
Well, you feel for him, but Luis is right now not able to throw strikes.
Hey.
And so, you can understand.
Anda para tercera.
All right, so a pitching change coming up here for Venezuela. Mexico threatening to go back ahead. It's 2-2, and we'll come back right after this. Welcome back to the Little League World Series right here on ESPN, presented by T-Mobile on this gorgeous, picture-perfect day in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And a tough start for Luis Atencio. He was having a hard time finding the strike zone here in this second inning. And so a pitching change for Venezuela with the game tied 2-2. It's going to be Brando Fernandez to take the mound, 12 years old. We've seen his arm from third base. We know he can throw across the diamond. We'll see if he can throw some strikes from the mound.
Well, he's got the good fastball the coach is talking about and a pretty good breaking ball in warm-up. So we'll see if he's throwing strikes. He does have an electric arm.
First pitch, good start right there. He inherits the 2-ball, no-strike count, so that's not easy either.
No, it's not. And to find your rhythm right there. Second, third coming in, pitching in trouble right now.
2-1 pitch. Oh, he's got a little pace to him, too. He wants to get the ball and go. He missed with that one high.
Well, I think we always love that, and as a defense, you always love that. These guys getting the ball headed that way, trying to throw strikes, puts the hitters on their heels.
3-1. And that's a strike, but it gets by the catcher, so that will score a run. And Elliot Sanchez is still going. So that hurts for Venezuela. It's 3-2 Mexico. They're going to score that as a pass ball. Still only one out on what was strike 3.
Yeah, right by him, just tipped off the glove. Just ran up and in on him. Venezuela has not been sharp so far on defense.
Yeah, it's strange because they were really good for most of this Little League World Series, their first 2 games.
And that's what they've talked about. I mean, both these teams, Mexico made some errors early on. Venezuela is just not looking sharp here tonight, but both these teams coming in, coaches praise their defense.
1-0 bunt out in front of the plate, and that's going to be a tough play. The scoop, the tag, not in time. Good slide right under the tag. Emiliano Ondarza scores another run. It's 4-2.
Brando Fernandez jumps on this ball pretty quick. Nice bunt here, lays it down right side and hustles out of the box. That's so clean. Nice glove flip there from Brando, but just too late getting under. Probably should have just gotten it out at first base. Limit the damage, but tries to get that extra out. Always tough at home plate when an executed bunt. If it's a hard one back to you, it's okay to come home, but a nice executed bunt, just take your medicine and get that out at first base.
So Mexico threatening for even more.
Oh, that's a nice block.
Yeah, really good play.
That right there, you can tell. Hendrik Maestro was ready for the breaking ball. He was expecting the ball in the dirt because he called a breaking ball. The fastball is hard to block because you're trying to frame it. Nice job of getting out there. Throws his hands, gets around it, and knocks it down, keeping that run from scoring at third base.
He blocked the fastball there.
And that hurt. That hit him in the wrist, I believe.
Yeah, he needs a minute. From one catcher to another. Yeah. It has been a difficult couple innings already for Hendrik Maestre.
Yeah, I mean, talking about blocking the ball, you see there those ones where he's getting here and trying to glove it on this side.
Gamer?
No, this is. I'm not that old.
Well, I don't know. You're not.
I just retired a couple years ago, but those last couple where he gets around it, scoops his arms like that and then comes to the blocking position, that's the way he blocks it and gets around it. That's the key block. When you don't get to your knees, that's when kind of some problems have. You start picking the baseball. We're seeing that a little more in the big leagues now, but pretty textbook those last few he's had going down into the crouch. Watch here. Watch him throw his glove straight to that hole, getting to his knees early. That free hand he kicks out before he goes behind the glove, which is nice. And then the slide, that's the tough one, pushing out, and then he crunches down to block that ball. Nice job by Hendrick, maestro.
And hopefully he can stay in this game, because the second one, and I guess that ultimately is part of the job, right? Whatever it takes to keep the ball around home plate.
It is, and that ball, when it hits you on the wrist, really hurts bad. It'll go away. The stinging sensation will go away in just a minute, but it doesn't feel good. Not a lot of fat there to kind of soften the blow.
So he's going to get that wrist wrapped up, taped up.
I would always get. I used to wish I could wear like more wristbands, but I wanted to feel the baseball. But I was kind of a longer torsoed guy, so when I would go down, I'd get a lot of balls that would hit me in the forearms or the wrist because I would stand up too much. He did a nice job on the one before that of getting that belly button tucked down and tucking that chin where he created a good angle. It's tough on the fastball because you get down a little bit later.
So just a brief delay while they make sure Hendrick can continue in this game. We are in the elimination bracket on the international side here. 2 games on the international side today. This one, Mexico-Venezuela at 4 Eastern on ESPN2. It'll be Canada and Curacao. And the winners of these games will meet tomorrow, Tuesday, right here on ESPN at 3 Eastern. So you got elimination baseball all throughout the day here in Williamsport. And good for Hendrick. He is going to stay in this game. They used to call you Grandpa Rossi. So I just thought, well, I don't know. Maybe David started his career a little earlier than I thought. I saw that glove.
I should have just brought my own glove up here. I just grabbed the prop from behind me and thought I'd get a little catch and demo in during the game. At least I didn't break anything like KP.
That's true. We had a big accident up here the other day. Stuff came crashing down.
He's a big man. He needs more space.
All right, 2-0 the count. And Venezuela just desperate for some strikes from their pitchers. 2 walks, a strikeout, but on a ball that got by the catcher that allowed the batter Elliot Sanchez to reach. A bunt for a hit to knock in a run. And now Sebastian Sauceda takes a strike. Well thrown. Brando Fernandez already the second pitcher of the day for Venezuela. They fell behind 2-0. They immediately tied the game 2-2. Now they've fallen behind 4-2.
Ball.
And that one, a fastball spiked in the dirt, and that will make it 5-2 Mexico. It's amazing, too, because the misses for both pitchers, nothing is missing up. Every single pitch is missing down.
I think this is where the coaching comes in. Time to just kind of adjust the mechanics a little bit. This is tough. Trying to set up in, and he pulls it. There's no chance as a catcher unless you just glove that baseball to get any catching equipment on there.
3-1. That's a good fastball.
And that's where the one if you're missing down, make that adjustment, miss up a little bit or pitch up, and the eye of the hitter will see that. You'll probably get more swings up there.
3-2. It is right there for strike 3 call. So that was big.
Just the fastball. Got to find that release point, being consistent. This is what happens. You get a little bit further down the line. Nice job. Fastball away, just planes out. Four-seamer just stays right there, right on the corner. Nice job of framing that, too, by Hendrick behind the plate.
So now, Angel Castillo. He takes a strike. He has been the leader of this team from Guadalupe, Mexico. Already has a hit and a run scored in this game.
He got a little flash, just like his favorite player, Javi Baez.
He does.
Ball.
He's got a little flair. He's directing traffic. You see him there. Ball in the dirt, telling the runner at third base, stay there. He's locked in. High baseball IQ. One of these guys at this Little League World Series that you fall in love with the more you watch him play.
That one is right back up the middle. So he's 2 for 2, and that knocks in another run. 6-2 Mexico.
All right, just my favorite player is what I'm going to say. Yeah, look, he's directing traffic. Look, yeah, I'm telling everybody. This is what we do. What's up, Dad? Dad's locked in. Got the handlebar mustache. Son ropes this ball right back up the middle. Sees the fastball for a strike the pitch before. Stays on it. Beautiful swing. Line drive swing. Flat bat. Nice approach.
Ball. I think we know where the personality came from now.
Yeah.
Now that we've seen dad and son pointing at one another.
I tell you what, that's got to be really cool from just a parent standpoint, being up the field, your dad giving some love after you get a RBI knock with 2 outs.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Santiago Leja fouls that one off. It's 1-1. Santiago had an RBI single in his first at bat. In some ways, and it gives you a little glimpse into the kid. If he wins the lottery, he would donate to cancer research. That was his answer when we asked him that. Somehow he also got some quick feet because somehow he avoided being hit by that pitch.
That one started behind him. Breaking ball just doesn't finish. That's tough.
I think, here we go. Let's see it again.
You're like, whoa, that one freezes you when you right out of hand. You're hitting.
2-2. To me, for Mexico, almost the goal would be, can we get to Wednesday and have this kid pitch again? Because he was tremendous in their opener. And if they can, I think with him on the mound, I think they can match up against anybody.
2-2. Hey, well, and that's the depth of the pitching is what's so important in this tournament. But, yeah, you got to figure out a way win these games, whether we just got to slug our way through it, put up a bunch of runs, or we play great defense. But anything we can do, they're going to have to they're able to pull this one out, and they got a long ways to go, but they'll pull this one out, figure out what's going on tomorrow, get to Wednesday, and get him back on the bump. They got a shot.
Good start today, and a breaking ball outside. So it is 3-2, full count here with 2 down, and already 4 runs in here in the second inning.
Ball 4.
That's ball 4. So now the 9th hitter of the inning will come up.
Just been a ugly inning here for Venezuela as far as throwing strikes. I've always been okay with just guys, if my pitcher doesn't have it that day, just giving up hits around the field. But it's really frustrating when you're on defense and in the dugout for the coaches and everybody. When you're not throwing strikes, it just feels like you're just asking for trouble because one base hit's going to score a bunch of runs. Nice stop.
Well, you can see Brando Fernandez trying to figure it out on the mound. You also feel for Hendrik Maestre, the catcher. He is just being taxed.
I definitely am paying close attention to that, and he is getting worked. A little mound visit again here.
Venezuela's just desperate to try to find something.
Dame. Digo, aquí se viene a tirar strike. Si no te tiras strike, Kobe, ¿tenés cojones? ¿Seguro? Vos la estabas pidiendo, ¿verdad? ¿La querías? Tomala. Da parcial y ponete en segunda. Que ahorita lo que vengamos terminamos hacer los cambios.
All right, so a third pitcher already for Venezuela, trying to find somebody to throw strikes here against a team from Mexico that is fired up from one Castillo to another in the stands. 6-2, Mexico's got the lead. All right, here we are in the second inning still. We have had tons of offense already, and this is the third pitcher in this game for Venezuela. Venezuela, it's an elimination game. You got to try everything you have. They will bring the shortstop, Jonathan Rangel, in.
If you're having trouble throwing strikes, bring in your shortstop, best defensive player you got, and a guy that knows where the ball's going.
And he throws an immediate strike one to the hitter, Marcelo Herrera. 2 on, 2 out, 4 runs in for Mexico. Wild first inning. And now Mexico pouring on the offense. The kid at the plate who wants to be a neurosurgeon. Just, your normal aspiration for a 12-year-old. He hit the ball hard, but Jonathan Rangel calms things down, gets that big third out. Venezuela back to the plate when we come back.
Have you ever smiled? Of course you have. We all do from time to time. But have you ever really smiled? Smiled so big you felt it deep in your bones. That sort of smile that reminds you that everything is exactly the way it should be at this exact moment. That smile that says nothing else matters right now. That moment when you just can't contain that feeling, and it's instantly written all over your face.
Well, smiles just all throughout the Little League World Series. We had a lot of them here yesterday with the big leaguers. And look, even with the big leaguers back to Major League Baseball away from Williamsport, the smiles are still here from kids and grown-ups alike on this hot but beautiful Monday afternoon in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. This is sort of like, it's technically not already the second week, but the second week of this Little League World Series. We're into elimination play on both sides of the bracket. Everybody's got to win to keep playing. Mexico and Venezuela has been a wild game so far. 6-2, bottom of the second inning. Second at bat for Venezuela, and Ibrahim Ruiz, the center fielder, leads off. That's a strike. You know, I don't think the home plate umpire has had a particularly small strike zone. You know, sometimes the strike zones vary at this level, at any level, but the wildness, the walks from Venezuela, I don't think have anything to do with the strike zone.
He hadn't had a choice really today so far.
Oh, we got some sort of equipment. One of the pads along the side has fallen off, so let's see if one of our grounds crew members can get out there and help us out.
Yeah, you don't want that falling down, that metal post there. Any of those kids headed over there for a foul ball, you'll want. There we go.
Okay, good job. Back to baseball. You can touch the fence. Don't touch the pad. 1-1 to Ibrahim. Sebastian Sauceda on the mound. 2-1. A lot of breaking pitches from all these pitchers that we've seen.
Yeah, I feel like the couple years I've done that, Mexico probably got the best off-speed stuff of the group. They usually can spin the baseball pretty darn good.
2-1 pitch. Hey, he dropped that one in there. 2-2.
Ball.
Oh, well, they got the umpire.
Yeah, we talk about this is kind of one of those things when you start talking about that pace of play. Your guys get you 4 runs in the second. Want to get out there, throw strikes, really start to attack those hitters.
Yeah, Sebastian is really, really working slowly. And he gets the strikeout on a 3-2 pitch for out number 1. Well, tonight our crew is going to be in Denver in the Rocky Mountains for our next preseason NFL game. It's the 49ers and the Broncos, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN. ESPN Deportes on the ESPN app. Coverage begins at 7 with a special edition of Monday Night Countdown. Joe, Booger, and Lisa are there in Denver, Colorado, where football is still mostly football. Baseball in Denver, sometimes it doesn't look like baseball.
I saw where they were averaging for, I think it was a month, they were averaging, I think, like 10-point-something runs a game. I'm like, oof. Like average runs.
About halfway through the year, the combined total from the two teams at Coors Field was about 14.5 runs per game.
Maybe that's a stat I saw. That's a tough one to watch for me as a catcher and a guy, defensive type player. Can you imagine managing those games night in, night out, Buddy Black?
That is a hard job.
Long night.
1-1 on the ground, foul. You know, Major League Baseball has spent a lot of time thinking about, talking about the possibility someday could we have a big league team in Mexico. I mean, you get talking time zones and travels. Fit wouldn't be much different than a lot of the cities we include in the current big leagues in the United States. But one of the challenges is both Monterrey, especially Mexico City, altitude baseball. You'd be adding another ballpark where the ball would play like it does at Coors.
I got a chance to play when I was with the Dodgers. Got a chance to play in Mexico City in one of the exhibitions against the Mets, and the ball definitely gets up in that air and travels. Beautiful city, though. Beautiful complex we got to play at. But, yeah, you definitely felt. And I played in Vegas, which was ball traveled a lot when I was coming up through the minor leagues. That's never fun for a pitching staff.
1-2 here to Moises Concho. 1 out in the bottom of the second. And a fastball that just missed. 2-2.
I love this Venezuelan group. One of their superstitions, not washing the unis. Sure, smells real nice in their rooms. Right? It is hot, and they get after it down here.
2-2. A rip job, and that is a fair ball. My goodness, did Moises hit that ball hard. He's going to leg his way into second. It's a double.
Moises is all over this breaking ball. Comes down and into him and just does a good job of following the barrel to the baseball here. Line drive right down the line, just inside that left side foul pole. Nice job of cutting it off in left field by Daniel, but nice double there by Moises.
They're going to use a runner for Moises Concho. So I think it's the special pinch runner rule into play here. Edward Pinto. Twice a game, but not more than one time per inning, a team can use a player who's not in the batting order as a special pinch runner for any offensive player. Doesn't mean that offensive player has to permanently come out of the game. A player can only, though, be removed for a special pinch runner once during a game. So they won't be able to do it with Moises Concho again.
That's something they need to, I wish they would have had in the big leagues when I was there. You never want to see a guy like me or these guys run the bases. Let's get somebody with some speed out there. I love speed in the game.
Could be that we're challenging fair or foul on this one. What do we think? Do we have a
fair
good look?
To us. Let's see.
Yeah, definitely fair. Not close. I mean, by the standards of
our great eyes.
Us and our talents. Definitely
our expert
fair.
Eyes.
It was a good call by the umpires on the field.
Good hustle.
Yep, fair ball. So now, after that challenge, a quick word between pitcher and catcher. And I'm with you. Look, it's hard to, but there's a fine line, right? This is the Little League World Series. You want every pitch to matter. You're trying to concentrate and bear down. But it becomes harder and harder, I think, on the defense for Mexico. Sebastian Sauceda is working at a very deliberate pace.
Yes.
Oh, hits the batter there, which is definitely a mistake. Hendrik Maestre, hopefully he's all right. Man, you thought it was tough on him behind the plate, taking shots. Now at the plate, he gets drilled.
There's those days as a catcher. Oh, my goodness.
Sebastian will come over and make sure that
Davies Ordonez over there just rubbed it out for him a little bit. It was hilarious. Right in the left cheek. Ouch.
Oh, boy.
Ouch.
Well, Hendrik is having a hard time. Now we're going to get a meeting on the mound.
¿Le quisiste apretar de más o qué? Pero las curvas las tienes que picar. Todo el año estuvimos picando los cambios. Esa curva, la del jonrón, se te quedó en medio. Y esa que te batearon para allá, otra vez igual, no te rompe. Paso corto y si no tiras cambio, dile que no para que tires curva entonces. Confiado más en tus lanzamientos, estamos arriba en el marcador. Listos, cualquier toque de bola, es el último bat. Hay un out, puedes tocarla corriendo. Buen tiro, ¿entendido? Sí. Órale pues, vámonos.
Hey, te quedo perrando.
All right, so Orlando Rodriguez, the pitching coach for Mexico, he wants more breaking balls.
Yeah, he wanted some more. If it's not going to be the breaking ball and that's not working, let's go with the changeup. And a good finishing message there. Let's go. Try to get a double play.
The hitter will be Brian Apalmo, second baseman for Venezuela. Still just the bottom of the second inning. A lot of pitches thrown in this game on both sides.
Ball.
Called a ball.
Yeah, just not even strikes that are really close. Home plate umpire, we talked about already, doing a good job of calling the borderline pitches. Really a lot of balls, not even competitive pitches.
That's a strike. Well, Luis Gonzalez, the manager, just took his hat off and walked in the opposite direction from the coach's box. So whether that means a sign was missed or what, a little frustration from the manager for Venezuela. Spot where his team's got a chance to get closer here. And a ground ball to second. Castillo, a little flip. That's one. The throw, not in time. They throw behind the runner, Pinto. No double play, but a ground ball for out number 2.
Just like the coach said when he came out to the mound, try to get yourself a ground ball, double play. It's a little bit too fast of a runner was Apalmo. Get down there, but a nice job of feeding him at shortstop.
So, well, I hope that's not good. Uh-oh.
Oh, she grabbed. I thought those were coming to us, and she stole them.
Oh, you gotta keep running. Yeah. No more chicken fingers.
That's the last thing. No, that's the last thing I need. Got enough popcorn in my mouth as we speak.
Still working on the kettle corn. Ball. Outside for ball 1. So 2 outs. This is Randy Soto, who doubled and scored a run in the first inning.
Bueno. Put. Ball.
2-0.
Tell you what, those shadows might start creeping in over that plate here as this game goes on. Going to make it extremely difficult to hit and pick up spin.
Well, even more important for pitchers to throw strikes, make them earn it.
No doubt.
So 2-1 the count to Randy Soto. Hit a double off the bottom of the right center field wall. He does that again. It's going to be a 2-run game. You got a good fast runner at first base. That's Apalmo. Pinto is the runner at third. Pitch number 39 coming up for Sebastian Sauceda. That one is lined into right field, so that's a second hit for Randy Soto. That'll score 1. Venezuela has answered. It's 6-3 Mexico. Randy Soto's had 2 beautiful swings in this game.
I was just about to say that. This guy is such a stud. We saw him on the mound last game, complete game shutout, as I said, but this is where he just shines for me. This ball's down and in, really pulling his hands in nicely, driving the ball to right. It's a nice, smooth stroke, open stance, strides parallel to his other foot. Just a nice, easy stroke from the left-hander.
So still 2 on, still 2 out, but a run in now. And Jonathan Rangel, who started at shortstop, now is the pitcher who dropped a bunt down. He was off and racing to first, but it rolled foul.
What a great idea from Jonathan. That's how you play baseball. You're down 3, 2 outs. Let's get some more base runners here. Let's see if we can't spark a rally. This is a beautiful bunt. Just, you want to say fair or foul. Don't bunt it back to the pitcher. Fair or foul. And that ball just foul for Jonathan. Nice idea.
Yeah, you're still alive. It's just a strike. You got an on-deck hitter, Davrik Fuenmayor, who's already homered in this game. big swing and a miss for strike 2. The runner from second, that's Brian Apalmo. He started toward third. That drew the throw, but he decided against taking a chance.
¿Cuál es el problema? Que estás haciendo lo que venimos practicando. ¿Te estáis qué? Jalando, ¿verdad? Te estáis jalando. Mantenerte cerrado. Tus manos son rápidas, ¿verdad que sí? ¿Verdad que sí son rápidas? Entonces, ¿qué tienes que hacer? Mantenerte cerrado. Ven acá, que hay que fue para allá. Mantenerte cerrado, ¿verdad? Y le das a la bola. Mantenerte cerrado y le das a la bola. Mantenerte cerrado y le das a la bola. Hey, ¿y él puede ir para allá?
His message there was, you got fast hands. Which I think sometimes that message is, you don't have to start so early. You can wait and see if it's a pitch you want to hit because your hands are going to catch up to the ball.
Yeah, don't be out in front. Let it travel. That's what I talk to my son a lot. Let the ball get deep. Think about hitting it off your belly button.
0-2. Rangel.
Oh,
he takes one in the dirt. Good stop. You're right. I don't know if that was an attempt at a changeup.
Yeah, he's got that grip. Oh, it looks like a little trying to spin that ball. Nice stop there by Jesus behind the plate.
1-2. That one is hit hard but foul.
It's a good adjustment. Listen to your coach. Let that ball get deep. Now he fouled one off to the left. Now you got a little more timing. Out in front of that one you swung and missed. Let that breaking ball get a little deeper and make the adjustment on this next swing. Find that timing.
This is a big at bat in this game. 6-2 Mexico. Or 6-3 rather, a run in for Venezuela in the second inning, but a chance for more here in the middle of the order for Venezuela.
Ball
in the dirt, and it kicks away. So now a base hit could score 2.
And you got Davrik on deck, who hit a home run last at bat. Power threat on deck. Always looming. Would be the bases loaded with 2 outs.
Hoping to get a chance here. 2-2.
Carácter, Sebastián, carácter, hijo. Dale, qué bueno, si no, ni modo, échale. Está bien, está bien.
3-2. So if Jonathan Rangel could walk, that would load the bases for the guy who has already gone deep.
Nice at bat here from Jonathan.
From 0-2 to 3-2. Big pitch, here it comes. And a big swing for another foul.
Always felt like when I was playing, you get that 3-2 count. You made that pitcher work, especially when you're trying to come back down 3. Make that pitcher work. You get to 3-2, you're going to get something to hit.
Another 3-2 pitch, and he hits that one to left field. It is caught in left by Daniel Orozco. A good play, and that keeps Mexico ahead by the score of 6-3. Good baseball and good sportsmanship on display here in Williamsport. Ouch, but are we okay? Yeah, I guess we're all right.
Right now, the average kid plays less than 2 sports.
Different sports create different thought processes, and you can definitely use those thought processes and make yourself better. Bowling is just the 3 and 4 second concentration things. You know, once I step on the lane, you know, just that short time period of focus is what I use to my advantage in baseball.
Visit projectplay.us to give sports back to kids.
All right, back here in Williamsport, where this game has had the intensity, the concentration level of an elimination game, which is exactly what it is. Mexico and Venezuela. We go to the third inning of this 6-inning game with the score 6-3, Mexico over Venezuela. And the Mexican team will hit here in the third. Great crowds here on a Monday after all the excitement and energy yesterday. Right back at it today with Little League World Series Baseball from morning through evening time. We're at Volunteer Stadium. Dave Fleming, David Ross, and Jonathan Rangel, who got the final out of the second on the mound, starts the third and throws strike one to Eugenio Hernandez, pinch hitting for Mexico.
I got a feeling things are going to pick up here with Jonathan Rangel on the mound. He seems to grab that ball and go shortstop, used to throwing the ball long distance for strikes.
Tried a curveball. He's not had the feel. He's tried that a few times, hasn't yet had the feel of that.
Just poured in there, Jonathan. Use your defense.
I think that's the message of a lot of Little League coaches is, okay, so your breaking ball's not working, well, let them prove they can hit your fastball. Try that for a while, and
2-1.
It's 2-1. He's got a good fastball, 2-2.
A little sneaky short arm, kind of that shortstop arm action just kind of comes through. Not long, lanky like most pitchers. It just grabs it and go. Short arm stroke.
Was there a short arm pitcher you used to face that used that for some deception?
Yes, Billy Wagner. My goodness, that thing just came out of his ear and just disappeared behind your back foot. His fastball exploded. Craig Kimbrell's got a little bit of that now. I caught him in Atlanta.
That is right there for strike three, a fastball. Out number one. Well, up the hill at Lomedy, we have another international game. There in the bottom of the first inning, no score. That's Curacao against Canada as those two teams try to stave off elimination. That was pretty swing up at Lomedy. Want me to call some play-by-play of that game too?
Double dip.
That is Curly Martha, who is just so impressive.
He's a stud. That kid, we're going to see him doing something special for a long time.
Feels that way.
Yeah, he's an athlete.
Alan Gutierrez is hitting here. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. One and two. The Curacao pitcher in their opening round win, Shendrian Martinez, he threw one strike after another. He pitched 4 innings, fewer than 40 pitches, never allowed a hit, only struck out one. His defense made plays for him. It was a thing of beauty. Good play from Atencio at third for out number 2.
Love how Luis Atencio really didn't panic on this ball. Just moved his feet, got set underneath the baseball, 2 hands, no need to rush here. Swinging butt, sometimes you feel like you've got to hurry. He just gathers right there and just lets it eat across the diamond. Nice strong arm. Great play by Luis Atencio.
Nicolas Villarreal is going to hit for Mexico. So another pinch hitter. Mexico leading 6-3, 2 outs, nobody on. Here in the top of the third. And the one thing that Jonathan Rangel has come in the game to do is throw strikes.
I was just about to say that throwing strikes, and the hitters from Mexico don't seem to be picking up. A lot of guys getting beat with that ball that's running in on them, or just late picking up that baseball.
And it could be a combination of him and his mechanics and his style, and also you pointed out that shadow line. It's probably not a real easy time to hit. Swinging strike 2.
One thing I always did when those shadows started creeping in, I came up with the Dodgers, but those 4 o'clock games, whenever you had them, they would be over the stadium, would be right there in the center, and the tough pitch to hit is that fastball that's running in, and then anything off speed because you couldn't pick up spin.
Foul tip held on by the catcher, Hendrik Maestre, who's toughing it out today. We will go to the bottom of the third. Mexico with a 6-3 lead. Deep to left field, and it is gone. Big league power from Yuto Kakeba. Take a bow.
Here it comes, boys.
Got him. Was that impressive or what? teams in this Little League World Series. Both have brought great teams to Williamsport in 2019. Yuto Kakeba 6 for 7 with that home run we just showed you. Jinwan Na, they call him the Korean Eagle, and he has been soaring high up above Williamsport with his performance at the plate, on the mound. Every pitcher will be eligible. I have a feeling that's going to be a really good one.
I can't wait for that one. That's clean baseball, power, speed, defense. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be something.
That's your week, Rossi.
That is it. That's Williamsport in a nutshell right there. I got to find that shirt.
It's a really good one. Davrik Fuenmayor, who hit a home run his first at bat today, takes another breaking ball, 2-0. Well, Sebastian Saucedo, you can't blame him. You got to be able to use your pitches, but he has been stubborn trying to find the feel of that breaking ball. I think he's still looking for it.
Well, I think the thing that would concern me a little bit if I'm the Mexican coaches is got to have him pitch. We're running low on pitchers. That's why you're out there. You're usually our closer. Fill up that strike zone. Make these guys make contact and put it in play. Use your defense.
He's shaking his head. You got a 3-run lead. I know the kid hit a home run his first time up. 3-0. That's a strike.
There it is.
That was an impressive swing. Second tallest international player here at this Little League World Series, Davrik Fuenmayor. That's ball 4. Well, let's say hi downstairs to Sebastian.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined now by one of the many Venezuelan expatriates who we've seen embrace this team, Elides Cotis. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for your time. You're not from Maracaibo originally. You don't know any of the boys on this team. You've driven from Rochester. Why?
To give support to the kids. I mean, it has been a so heavy competition to get to this level. And for them to accomplish that, it is amazing.
Given everything that's happening in Venezuela today, what does it mean to you to see these kids doing this in this environment?
I'm very happy for them and very proud that they are able, given all the circumstances, and they have the hard work and what is needed to get to this level.
And you can see lots of Venezuelan folks. You guys don't know each other, but you're family now.
But we are, and wherever we go, we made a family, as long as we're together.
Elides, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
A very heartfelt message. A good job by Sebastian, because it is on the minds of so many people, the circumstances that have these kids here without their family, without their friends from back home, but they're making friends in Williamsport. And they're trying to keep their championship hopes alive. That one in the dirt.
Well, I just think about what Shashin has done and Rogne Nodor, like helping this group out, helping them find the funds and the ways to get their visas to get over here and even compete in this tournament.
Yep.
Major leaguers that really support their country. Wilson Contreras, that I know well with the Cubs, big supporter of Venezuela and trying to help these kids out.
That one on the ground toward third, in the hole, and a good effort. The tag, he got him. Fuenmayor went across the bag, and that turns into out number 1.
We say keep things in the infield, good things happen. Nice play by Sanchez on the backhand. Flips to Angel Castillo, and a heads-up baseball play by Angel. Stretches and sees him reach off, and watch the fist pump. Boom! Loves it. Nice heads-up play, and he's fired up. This is the energy you need. He loves it. He loves competing.
There's nobody really like him in this Little League World Series. He's been a catcher. Now he's playing second base, and we're seeing why they put him out at second base. I was shocked. I thought, well, why would he ever do anything but catch?
Nice block. I tell you what's nice is I came up in the Little League area, and 10 years old I switched to being a catcher, but middle infield helps you as a catcher with your hands transitioning to gloves, and you could tell his footwork and his hands are really solid. The two kind of turn into double play really is just like a catcher throwing down to second.
And he never stops talking on the field. 2-0 is the count. Nobody celebrates a big play like this guy.
I love it. A little Tiger Woods fist pump right there.
Yeah, he is just so into it. He's barking at his teammate on the mound, I think.
You see it all the time, Dave. You do big league games. The guys that bring energy on the field are infectious to other players, especially in a long tournament like this is, or in a long major league season or college season. You need those players. One, the good baseball IQ, and his energy, though, will get you going on those days when it's tough.
2-1 pitch.
Ball.
And that's inside. 3-1. The power of Javi Baez, the power of Francisco Lindor, of Mookie Betts.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of examples at the big league level.
And the infectious smiles they got, and when they play, you look like they're having the time of their lives just being out there playing the game.
Sebastian Sauceda is still struggling to find the strike zone consistently. Fuentes, the pinch hitter, Juan Fuentes, and he takes ball 4. So that has given Venezuela another good chance here in the bottom of the third. 2 on, 1 out. We're going to get I think a pinch hitter coming up here. Is that Eduard Pinto who's going to come up? We're going to have another visit from the pitching coach. Yeah, not just a visit.
Esta entrada estás medio nervioso, ¿no? Tu cara está así, relájate. Hey, vienen 2 cambios. Este que pasó era cambio. ¿Vale? Háganse para atrás.
Look who's going to pitch.
Para atrás.
You have no idea how big of a smile I have on my face right now. This might be why he was coming in from second base and didn't catch today. They knew they were going to use him at some point. I can't wait to see this.
And I do think that for Mexico, thinking, look, we got a 3-run lead here, but 2 more walks in this inning. We need a guy who can throw strikes right here, right now. Game is on the line right now, even though we still have a ways to go.
And we know how much this kid likes to compete. You got the breaking ball, already flipping that in there. He's going to get after it. He's going to be coming right at these hitters, I promise you. And the coach was saying, mixing that combio. There's the changeup. That's the sign for changeup. That's a pretty good one right there, too. Nice spin on that. Changeup's going to be the pitch that the coach likes. Maybe we'll see that out of Castillo.
So for Mexico, trying to keep their title hopes alive. They had a 6-2 lead. Venezuela got a run in the bottom of the second. Mexico did not score in the top of this third, and more pressure on the Mexican pitching and defense here. The winner of this advances to play the winner of the game that's happening as we speak, Curaçao and Canada. And Curaçao has a 2-0 lead right now. That game on ESPN2. On the international side, another elimination game tomorrow, 3 Eastern. So, Castillo, who has been a star in Williamsport today. He's singled twice. He's knocked in a run. He's scored a run. He's been a catching star. He's been an emotional leader, and now we'll see him pitch.
I'm super excited about seeing this guy on the mound. His energy is infectious. I believe this is going to be the shutdown pitcher that Mexico needs to hold this 6-3 lead.
Eduard Pinto steps into the batter's box. I don't think nerves are going to be a problem for Angel Castillo.
No, they are not.
He is so into this game already. But his first pitch fastball bounces and gets by the catcher. So it is different when you climb up on that mound.
And the batter gets in there as well. I can tell you what, reading about Castillo, the coaches talk about him calling his own game. So he's aware of what's going on, what he wants to do with the hitter, reading those swings. Pretty high praise when your manager lets you call your own game at this age.
Second and third, 1 out. And a 1-ball, no strike count. Again, we got an umpire who's looking to call strikes in a good way. I say that as a compliment. If it's close, he's going to call a strike. Oh, no, not that one. No, not that one either. Nope. Nope.
He's shaking back to the fastball, maybe. I want you to go through them all. We're just playing mind games.
Yeah,
Let's see what we got.
Could be. Show of a bunt. We'll see if there is an actual bunt. Swing away. The ball hit foul. 1-2. That slash play where you get the defense to come in, create some angles where if you could put the ball in play, maybe you got a better chance.
We had Herrera crashing at first base way in there and almost hit it by him. If that ball would have been fair, he wouldn't have had a whole lot of time to react.
Did that umpire just drop the ball down his shirt? I think he did. We might have to go back and see that. All right. Angel. We getting the sign we want? We're not getting any signs.
Looking into the coach.
All right.
See what we got.
A 1-2. Strike 3 called. 2 down.
Little two-seam run on this fastball here. Just borderline down, but gets the call from the umpire to Combe.
Well, and I think it's a lesson for all these pitchers. If you're paying attention today, all I got to do is have it be in the neighborhood, and I'm going to get some calls.
And we've talked about those shadows. They're only getting tougher as they creep out towards the mound.
Well, Moises Concho had a very impressive swing and doubled in his first at-bat.
He's saying 4. Does he want to walk him?
We're going to intentionally walk this guy?
I think he's running it.
Castillo is literally making the decision himself. He's not waiting for a word. He's going to be insistent. Coach.
What are we doing?
Yep, okay. Guess who wins?
I love
that guy wins.
Yep, we got a new manager for the Team Mexico.
An intentional walk. Moises Concho shaking his head over at first base. I don't think he was going to throw a pitch.
He's like, nope. He's looking at the dugout like, what are we waiting on?
Guess who's coming up?
Here we go. Now we're talking. This is great baseball.
You want personality against personality? This is the matchup for you. Well, first, before we do any dances or wiggles or weird stances, if Yasiel Puig is watching, we got to get our shoelaces tied.
That's right.
Davis Ordonez, who has become a star. And we'll see. Davies is going to get all the equipment ready.
Chicken Little digging in.
Here we go. You can hear the buzz.
Who's watching in the locker room?
I mean, his bat is in the other batter's box. Yep. And Davies can't believe it. Well, if you get down to that crouch.
Hey, Angel Castilla didn't phase him one bit. He poured it in there.
We got a little stare down. We got a smile. We got the mean face on the mound. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Ordonez swings and misses. Man, Castillo, that was strike 2, and he's pumped up.
He's fired up. Boy, he is the competition.
If he gets strike 3.
Here's a stare down.
Try that on me. Oh, my goodness.
Ooh, boy.
This kid. If he strikes him out here, I don't know what's going to happen.
Let's see.
Ordonez waiting. The 0-2. Almost hit him. Davies got out of the way. I think his coach is saying, how about leaning into one? I don't ever blame the hitter for getting out of the way.
No.
1-2.
1-2.
Oh, yeah. We got what we want. 1-2 pitch. Got him. And the touch of home plate for out number 3. Castillo didn't know if he could celebrate yet. So maybe it's a little muted.
A big hard fist pump and a little dance for the coaches.
Talk, deservedly so, of fun and great sportsmanship. The intensity level in this game has been taken up a few notches. 6-3 Mexico.
There's a lot on the line here. The team that loses this game goes home, is eliminated. These kids want to win. I mean, they're competing. They know each other's dances. They know each other's antics, and they're competing, and they're not messing around out here on the mound. On this field, they're all serious.
And there's one kid in particular who does not want his Little League World Series to end,
and that is Angel Castillo. He's got more to offer to this Little League World Series, that's for sure.
So Jonathan Rangel, who's done an excellent job since coming in as the pitcher for Venezuela. Strike one on the outside corner as we start the fourth inning, 6-3.
That's going to be the key to this game, I believe. Coming in, throwing strikes. Both these pitchers probably in here for the long haul. Rest of this game, who gives up the least amount of walks, no free passes, come out ahead of this game.
Well, I think you're right. That is right there for strike three. These pitchers are going to go until they can't go anymore. This was coming off the field. We got an even better look of Angel Castillo.
Mexico's got the hips too. We know Venezuela's got them. And Delvis Ordonez, we've seen those hips move, but Angel Castillo had something to say about that.
Well, the ball in the dirt prevented the big celebration, I think, on the mound on strike three. So he had to wait a few seconds till he got back toward the dugout.
He had to coach his catcher on what to do with the ball, right? Step on home plate, step on home plate. Yeah, he never turns it off.
1-0, the count to Garza. Jesus Garza, who has been the catcher today for Mexico. And you said it, and I'll echo what you said. Already a run batted in for Jesus and a run scored. What a luxury to have two catchers. Jesus has done a great job behind the plate, just like Castillo has in the first two games.
Well, we've seen the trouble a little bit, the struggles behind the plate for Hendrik Maestro for the first time. Some tough pitches, really not his fault, but that's what matters. You can't give up those extra bases there when guys get on. One little ball gets by and gets a guy in scoring position. You give him away those free runs on easy outs. It's gonna spell disaster.
1-2. Strike three called again.
He has got that fastball down away, locked in with two strikes.
The Little League Grow the Game Grant Initiative has distributed over $4 million to local Little League programs. Facility repairs, improvement, expanding, establishing softball challenger division, urban initiative programs, all kinds of good stuff. For more info, visit littleleague.org/growthegame. 6-3, 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the fourth. Jonathan Rangel has calmed this game down for Venezuela. And he's giving them a chance to come from behind today. Whether they can or not, we'll see. But this little guy has just done a great job. There was chaos on the mound in the first couple innings.
A lot of wild pitches, a lot of balls that weren't even competitive pitches. So many walks early on in this game. Mexico, a lot of free passes they had, especially there in the second inning when they scored their most runs.
Ball.
That one goes to the backstop. It's 1-1. Sebastian Sauceda, favorite part of Little League, hitting and also being with my buds.
Hitting never gets old. That's always fun until you get to the big league level and you got my swing.
And you're facing.
Then you're like, oh, yeah, you're facing Randy Johnson and a gazillion guys throwing 100. Raldis Chapman.
2-1 the count. Sauceda is the third place hitter. Angel Castillo would hit next. And he's had a great swing today. Sebastian has struck out twice. Just inside. 3-1. I think the catcher, Hendrik Maestro, asking the umpire where that was. Even with maybe a little bit of a language barrier. Anyway, he might have been asking about the count.
I think they both were asking about the count. I know Sauceda was.
3-1 pitch is ball four. So that allows Castillo to hit with a runner on here in the fourth inning. Mexico's got a chance to add to their lead. He wants the same bat.
I love sharing the bat. That's just old school Little League. Now everybody's got their own bat and nobody uses it. And I love drop the bat. We're going to share the bat. You got a new bat. I like your bat. Let's do that.
Castillo, who is 2 for 2, 2 singles, a run scored, a run batted in.
Ball.
High and tight. That will not phase this kid. Davies, an interested observer.
Sebastian down at first base. Their fastest guy on the Mexican team. Looking for him to throw down there.
Big cut. And that's worth pointing out again, because if Castillo hits another line drive into the outfield, I think we're going to see Sebastian Salcedo with 2 outs off and running. Jose, he's got that same look, doesn't he?
He looks excited, intense eyes, competing.
Right there, 1-2. Good pitch.
Outfield's extremely deep out there, trying to prevent Salcedo from getting all the way around if the ball does get hit in the gap.
If Castillo could pull the ball down the left field line, you got a lot of room in straightaway left field. 1-2. Now time.
Seen that more this year. They want to replay this sign, but you see the outfield playing deep and to the off pull side, opposite field, knowing these kids aren't going to pull too many of these hard throwers.
1-2. That one is hit well to right field. Fuenmayor is there, though, and he misses it. I think he lost it in the sun. Salcedo comes around and he'll score. And Angel Castillo into second. It's 7-3. Well, he gets a hit, and I think he deserves one. He hit it hard. Fuenmayor got there, but I think the sun was a factor.
Fuenmayor had this ball sized up perfectly and just misses his glove. You see here, right in line with it, and just loses track of it as it comes down in the sun. Dad loves it, wants it to be a homer. Sees him cheering. I think we get another shake here. He's trying to get his dugout's attention. He gave a little shake to the dugout again. He was fired up. Angel Castillo, he has been the MVP of this game and of this Mexico team.
Yes, he has. He'll get a double high five, and they'll use a runner for Angel, so he'll get back in the dugout.
Look right at the camera. That was right. That was, hey, I'm on TV.
And you know what? I mean, I'm not saying there's a message in that with what Venezuela did the other day, but maybe there's a little message in that.
I tell you what, these kids are locked in and watching these games.
Carlos Moreno is the special pinch runner, so now Angel can get ready to pitch again.
¿Oíste? ¿Ya entendiste? ¿Entendiste? Y vos tapate. Ok, vamos pues, vamos.
De ahí la señal vos, la señal.
Well, probably just a moment to make sure Jonathan Rangel, he made a pretty good pitch. It was hit hard, but without the ball being lost in the sun, that would have been out number 3. No damage done.
I actually love that visit. Coming out, you've been throwing the ball great. Jonathan's been filling up the strike zone, and a ball really that normally gets caught except for the sun. Tough play, just refocus here. Don't give up any more runs.
You can even see the shadow on his face, how bright the sun is up above heading into right field. That is a big factor right now. Santiago Leja. All right, time to play. Good fastball, strike one. It's a sight to see, the Eiffel Tower. Someday Santiago's going to get there. Way outside, no chance for Maestre, the catcher. That will move the pinch runner to third.
You talked about it, Dave. The breaking ball really just hasn't worked for either group. Let's keep that fastball. And I believe Jonathan Rangel just looked in the dugout and told the coach, let me call my own game. I got it. He knows what he's feeling. He's really been in command out there. I love how these kids are taking charge here, the Little League World Series. They know themselves.
I think you're right. 1-1, and a good fastball again, popped foul.
He looked in and pointed at his chest and said, I got this. Let me stay. I know what I'm feeling. I know what I've got command on. He's been dotting that down and away fastball, especially with 2 strikes for a lot of strikeouts. Look, he's gotten 2 already just this inning. And 3 of the 4 have been looking on fastballs away.
Easily could be 0 runs. He's throwing the ball great.
Well,
that one goes high and to the backstop. He'll cover the tag. He is out. What a play between Hendrik Maestre and Jonathan Rangel on a wild pitch that got to the backstop. And Mexico is wondering, are we going to look at this or what?
Got a nice bounce off there. Nice flip from Maestro. Sliding in the catcher. Does he get the tag fast enough? It looks like his foot blocks the plate. I think you're right. I think he's out.
I think he is.
Umpire's all over that play, right on top of it.
So they are going to challenge, which you understand. That's a run. Does that foot kick up? I think that foot is up over the plate, and he gets the tag before the back foot gets to home plate.
Home plate umpire right on top of the play.
Good call. Good mustache. So that foot blocks it. I think it comes up.
And then he tags.
I think he's out. Home plate is flat. It's different from the other bases, and it happens a lot.
It happens a lot, even in the big leagues. They're reteaching that slide at home plate now to point that toe, get that toe down, try to keep it on the ground, because when you get on your butt, that front leg wants to kick up. Nice job, nice play there by Jonathan Rangel to get that tag down and really slide in there and block the plate a little bit with that front leg.
I think that call is going to stay. I think that was a good call. So we do have video replay here on plays like that, force outs, tags like this one. A missed base you can review, hit batters, you can review that. Unlimited if you're successful, but you lose your ability to challenge if you have 2 unsuccessful challenges in a game. All right, let's get the call. This is a big one, obviously. And the call is out. And Matthew Lacomb's having a good game. The umpire behind home plate. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th, 7-3 Mexico. Can I nominate the face of the Little League World Series 2019 for this kid? He is just something else.
I'm all in.
And the fact that he is such a good ball player, too. Angel Castillo for the team from Guadalupe, Mexico. Adrian Salcedo will pinch hit for Venezuela. We're in the bottom of the 4th. And Venezuela's got work to do to keep their championship hopes alive. An elimination game and a strike from Castillo, who got a huge strikeout.
I believe it was the catcher we fell in love last year was from Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Yep.
Something about those catchers who just America falls in love with.
Gosh. You couldn't even get it out of your mouth. You couldn't even get the sentence out.
Oh, man, I'm so full of it today. Sorry.
Yeah, good you put that qualifier on there.
Today.
1-1 the count. There's something about a catcher, and these catchers in Williamsport are the leaders of these teams.
They really are. They really are. I mean, the energy, we see them so much, but blocking balls, we've talked about it all day today. And just that infectious energy from Castillo, it resonates about this group and this team. Oh, he can't put the rosin on the ball.
So they're going to toss that baseball out.
Guys, we've been talking about Angel Castillo so much in this game. You got to find out more about this kid. You got to talk to the parents. I was just speaking with mom, Azucena, father, Jose. Mom, first descriptor she says was, he's bien comelón. He's a big eater. Favorite food, not carne asada, mole, something you'd expect. Pizza and burgers, proving that some things truly are universal. Dad used the word tranquilo, or calm, to describe his son while not playing ball, but the word perro, or dog, to describe his son on the diamond. We've seen plenty of that intensity, I think, so far here today. One other note from Angel's dad. This is his quote, lo que quiere, lo logra. Whatever he sets his mind to, he achieves. That, to me, speaks to the determination. I think we've seen a lot of that as well this afternoon.
It sure seems like it. That one hits the pinch hitter. Where'd that get him?
Right on the elbow guard. Ouch. Didn't even flinch.
Well, that elbow is almost out over the plate.
He didn't move that thing. Look at this. Little two-seamer. Whew, he's not moving. What a great interview by Sebastian. Get more in-depth there on Castillo. I love hearing, you're right, burgers and fries. That's pretty much universal, right?
Some things about that interview were new and surprising. Some things I kind of figured. Angel, he is a determined young man, so we get a pinch runner at first base. So that's a Palmo who comes back in the game after Salcedo hits for him, gets hit, and now Palmo will run. Well, this is a guy who's probably had the best swings overall for Venezuela today. 2 for 2, Randy Soto, a double, a single. Take strike one. He is a guy who admires good catching. Salvador Perez, the role model. Randy Soto.
Talking about a guy that's infectious smile and energy.
Baseball has missed him this year.
Yeah, really has. It really has. He's, from a catching standpoint, too, and watching him throw the baseball and how big he is behind the plate, just receiving, his receiving skills for me. Love Sal Perez.
1-1 to Randy Soto. He bounces that one toward third. It's a foul ball.
The top of this Venezuelan lineup and might have his work cut out for him. You got to get these guys, the bottom of the order, out. Not let this group come back on you. 4-run lead, bottom of the fourth. These guys got to get top of that lineup can hit.
Yep. This is a good opportunity here for Venezuela. Just missing. That was maybe the best one of those that Angel Castillo has thrown so far.
Some things never get old. You look in the dugout at your coaches if you think the umpire missed it. Backdoor breaking ball here, just kind of comes around the plate. Catcher frames it nicely, but just doesn't really come back for Matthew behind the plate.
2-2. He tries it again and gets the call here. That's strike 3, and Soto cannot believe it. Out number 1 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Meanwhile, the other international elimination game going on right now. Look who is at the plate.
That's our boy.
This could be an opportunity for our sales team. There's a sponsorship opportunity here. A live beef dip look-in. I like the exclamation point. That's good. That's Matt Shanley, who gave himself one of the best nicknames here in Williamsport. He and Canada trailing 4-0, but a chance for the big slugger for Canada to do some damage.
When you look in the mirror and see beef dip, I'm a fan.
That is literally what he told us, was that, how'd you give yourself that nickname? Well, one day I looked in the mirror and I said, that's beef dip. Oh, you can't make that up. That's my kid, and mom's even, she's going with it.
Yeah, you can't buck the beef dip nickname once it's given to you, mom or dad.
Jonathan Rangel hitting here against Angel Castillo. Now ball hit foul off to the left. We can't go away from beef dip, though, even if he's got to walk that off a little bit. Hopefully he's okay. I don't know, though.
Ball.
Nice take. Jonathan Rangel, just nice take on that back foot breaking ball.
So we promise we're not abandoning beef dip. We're going to give him a moment.
I don't know if I'm ever going to hear beef dip again and be the same, not chuckle.
Ball.
3-1. Well, all of a sudden, Castillo is throwing a lot of those off-speed pitches.
A lot of breaking balls, that changeup we've seen. Got to come right at him. You want strikes, make them put it in play. We talked about it already at the bottom of the lineup. Then now you're back at the top. You got to make these kids hit their way on.
He got that call on the strike 3 to the last hitter, Randy Soto. Maybe that's motivated him to throw a few more. On the ground, base hit. Rangel with a nice swing and a single with 1 out. This is the spot for Venezuela. Their big hitter coming up, and the big hitter for Canada is good to go. He's going to step back in the batter's box. So it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count there. Here it's going to be a fresh count for Davrik Fuenmayor. We got 2 international elimination games going on at the same time, which doesn't happen very often, and not this time for Big Matt. So he goes down swinging. Curacao in control of that game here. Mexico is as well for now, but Fuenmayor, who has homered already in this game with 2 on and 1 out, takes a strike.
Nice breaking ball there from Castillo. Flipping that in. If he gets that going with that fastball he's got, could be trouble.
Ball.
Davrik didn't even flinch on that one. Inside, 1-1. His home run went to right center field. It was an impressive swing. Great chance here for Venezuela in the bottom of the 4th inning. That one is fouled off. He, I think, almost had the timing of that breaking ball. This was back in the 1st inning.
Oh, man, this is what you want to teach here. The bringing the hands in, he pulls them in nicely to right center, but the big long finish on that swing, big tall leverage. That ball got out of here in a hurry.
So now having to hit from behind in the count 1-2. Castillo throws and he hit him with a breaking ball.
Dave, I think you might be right. Just getting a little off-speed happy here late in the game. You've got to lead. Pitch with your fastball. Down and away is the hardest pitch to hit. 2 breaking balls there, 1 for strike, and then finds one, tries to throw a better one, and just hits him. Now we've got bases loaded, 1 out, and Venezuela's got action.
Tying run at home plate, and it's a kid who does have some power. Luis Atencio. And out time.
Coaches love this kid. This is the type of things that come through. The German Shepherd, guard dog locked in.
On the inside for strike 1.
There's that fastball.
Yep. And when both pitchers have veered away from that pitch, that's when trouble has come. Atencio 1 for 2. Took that breaking ball in the dirt. The other thing about the breaking pitch, with only 1 out and you got the bases loaded, ball gets by the catcher. Likely would score a run for Venezuela. They're down 4 here in the 4th inning.
Ball.
And it does get by the catcher. That was a fastball, but now we got chaos. The throw's going to go to second, and that will allow the runner from third to break home. A run for Venezuela at 7-4. You had 2 runners almost stacked on top of each other at third, but the throw went to second base, and that allowed the runner Apalmo to come home and score.
This is such a hard thing for the catcher. You're so used to being able to throw down to second and get down there a lot faster. I've had this happen to me. When you're that deep behind home plate, it takes the ball so long to get there. Runners can advance really easy.
You're right. I mean, he's 20 feet farther away from second than usual.
Your brain doesn't tell you that.
That one off the glove of the first baseman Herrera. So another run scores. Dashing for third is Fuenmayor, and we got a ball game. It's 7-5. We worked on that one a little bit, didn't we?
We did. That's the one you did they've been doing that in the dorm up there at the Grove. Just off the glove at Herrera at first base. Runners move up. Good job of keeping it in the infield there by Elliot Sanchez. Just pausing. Great effort from Herrera at first base. Just out of the reach.
Well, now we're going to have all kinds of conferencing.
Quítame esa cara que ya te habíamos dicho que estabas parado totalmente 2 veces. 2 veces se han quedado parados. Concéntrense en el juego, estamos arriba en el marcador todavía por 2 carreras y ustedes concentrándose en la carrera de home. Pon atención en la carrera de primera base, ahorita están todos corre y corre y tú no sabías qué hacer con la bola. La mascota te va para atrás, todos te van para atrás, los piconazos te estás quedando atrás. Concéntrate en lo que estás haciendo. ¿Está bien? Vamos a tratar de hacer las cosas mejor. Estamos 2 arriba en el marcador. ¿Está bien? Pónganle listos. Acuérdense del equipo. Este equipo no es mío, ¿verdad que no? No. Ahora vamos a hacer las cosas mejor. Vamos para arriba, vamos. Isaí.
All right, that is a stern message. Number 1, wipe that look off your face. I don't want to see any sad faces out here. Number 2, we got to concentrate a little better. Number 3, 2 on, 1 out. Do we know what the count is? Do we know what the situation is? Yes. And then are we scared? No.
I love it. Great message. Great energy from the coach.
Strike 1 from Castillo to Brando Fernandez. You got the tying run at first. 7-5 Mexico. You're in the bottom of the 4th inning. And another pinch runner. Pinto is in at first base. That's that tying run. So a little extra speed. Eduard Pinto. First and third, 1 out. Brendo Fernandez chops one foul at home plate. Count is 0-2. Well, obviously, these are very big pitches in an elimination game. Jesus Garza makes his way back behind home plate. Sometimes these kids, they aren't big. Catcher's equipment makes it hard to move.
Fits one of the guys, not the other.
0-2. Castillo on the mound. It's taking so long to get the sign from the dugout to the catcher. The hitter's getting impatient.
Communication and rhythm is so important in this game.
0-2. Ball. That one a ball, and Pinto breaking for second, steals the bag. So now the tying run is at second base. Rondo Fernandez waiting for the 1-2 pitch.
Ball.
In the dirt again. It's right around home plate. That was a great block by Jesus Garza.
You know, we talk all the time on technique and blocking, but the bottom line is keep the ball in front. Tough, just in between short hop here, just rides up, gets the shin guard, but you know what? He was in position behind the baseball best he could. Great stop by Jesus Garza.
Doesn't matter what body part blocks it. Keep it around home plate.
We can talk technique all day long. I tell kids, just knock the ball down. That's your job.
2-2. A big cut against the fastball.
Nice swing up top. Looks like he's looking for the ball up. Brando Fernandez takes a nice hack at that fastball up. That's where that breaking ball, if it's going to be a strike, has to start off of. It's just been down, and he's done a good job of laying off of it.
We had 2 balls thrown back to Angel. He was thinking, wait a minute, what's going on here? The umpire and the catcher right at the same time. Everybody's okay. Still 2-2.
Ball.
He keeps trying that breaking pitch.
There's one message I would send to kids at this level is like, have fastball command down away. If you've got that, you can pitch in any moment, and the breaking ball is going to get better. And that never stops.
So let's see what he throws here. 3-2, big pitch in this game. Struck him out swinging.
That was a big pitch. 3-2, and hasn't had the feel of that breaking ball to start that breaking ball down and away, right off that fastball plane. Big pitch in a big moment. Got an open base at first, tie and run in scoring position. Huge pitch right there for Angel Castillo.
And you're right, that was just beautifully executed. So, now 2 down. And Ibrahim Ruiz is getting a pep talk before he jumps in the batter's box.
Pon a rodar la bola que esa pasa. Pasa ahí, anotan 2. ¿Verdad que sí? Entonces, vamos para encima que voy más a ti, vamos a ti.
And I think the message really was, we got to get the ball put in play.
Yeah, that's so important, especially with runners in score position. Put the pressure back on the defense. Make them field the ball and play catch.
Put it in play, you got a chance to tie the game. Hey, he had a really good cut.
Good fastball there. I think it's getting to that point where it's hard to pick up the ball. You see Ibrahim Ruiz a little bit late on that ball. It's hard when those shadows coming out of that bright backdrop coming into your shadows where you're hitting.
Here's the 0-1, and that hits him. So a breaking ball that was not thrown quite as well. That will load the bases up again. And this time, Angel Castillo can't hold the 4 fingers up and say, let's walk Moises Cancho. That's what he did last time.
He's going to have to try to get him out here. And the biggest situation, biggest moment here for Mexico and Venezuela.
Isn't this interesting how Castillo, he made the call himself. I've never seen it here at the Little League World Series. He wanted to put Cancho aboard and go after the next guy. This time, he comes up an inning later with the bases loaded. That's a strike, even though it was dropped by the catcher. That is strike 1. It's been a long inning for Jesus Garza behind home plate. A long inning for Angel Castillo on the mound. "33 pitches this inning alone."
Sometimes those new gloves behind the plate, that ball just pops out a little bit. Looks like he's got one of those.
Yeah. 0-2.
Not quite broken in yet. He's filling it up, the fastball. Got nowhere to put him. This is the program he should have had all inning long. Really pouring it in there, putting the pressure, be aggressive towards hitters.
0-2. Will he go back with that breaking ball? Will he have command of it if he does?
Going in.
0-2 pitch. And it bounced to second. Hop right there. And handled by Orozco for out number 3. Angel Castillo gets out of it. Venezuela gets a little bit closer, though. It's 7-5. Well, this elimination game has been intense. In the first inning, Mexico jumped ahead with a 2-run top of the first right away. And you're thinking, maybe it's going to be that kind of day. Well, Venezuela answered a 2-run homer, Davrick Fuenmayor, to the opposite field. Very impressive to tie the game. The big inning, though, for Mexico came in the second. They scored 4 times. And it was a combination of execution, little ball, daring base running, and some big hits. In the fourth, a great chance for Venezuela, and they capitalized on that chance to get a couple runs closer, but maybe the biggest pitch of the game with Moises Cancho at the plate for out number 3.
Bases loaded. We've had everything in this game. Walks, strikeouts, great defense, home run. It's been a phenomenal game so far. We got 2 innings left to play.
We do. 7-5 in the top of the 5th. The winner keeps their title hopes alive. The loser is eliminated and is finished here in the 2019 Little League World Series. Tomorrow, 3 Eastern, against the winner of the game going on right now, Curacao and Canada. So the 2 winners from today will play tomorrow. That ball, a big cut and a foul by Santiago Leja. 1-1.
What a game we've had so far, back and forth. Both teams, a lot of pressure, great execution, base running. We've had a phenomenal game. When it looked like it could be out of reach, neither one of these teams have given up. Venezuela, we've talked about, been in this situation a number of times. 5 elimination games, have won all 5.
To center field and caught. Ibrahim Ruiz with a nice play. That ball was sailing. He's got the sun to fight. That was not easy.
That was a line drive rocket right at him. I thought that ball had a chance to get over his head. Does a nice job of getting behind it and fighting that sun.
So, 1 out. And you got to give Jonathan Rangel a lot of credit. The shortstop for the first part of the game. And Venezuela just was struggling to find any consistency on the mound. He has come in and settled it down.
He's throwing strikes. He's actually picked up the pace of the game a lot just from strictly throwing strikes. The hitters from Mexico are coming in, being more aggressive, more balls in play, relying on his defense. He knows how important that is, being a shortstop. Really, really been effective here for Venezuela.
The only run that scored was on a ball that was hit hard, but it would have been caught if not for the tough sun. So really it could be 0, and who knows, that run could end up being the difference in this game. Herrera, big cut for strike 2. Marcelo Herrera, 0 for 2 so far in this game. Not happy with himself after that last swing. No balls, 2 strikes to count. He is digging in. It fights that one off, foul. The sun is tough even for the fans. That ball was hit toward the right field side, and you saw fans fighting, looking up into the bright sun there, trying to find that ball.
When you look out there, any of those fans, especially out there in right field, over the right field wall, everybody's got on sunglasses out there.
And that was a great look there.
That was a great look.
From behind right field of how bright it is. 1-2. Did he go? Yes, he did. That's strike 3. That's the same pitch that you have talked about that this kid has just mastered.
He does a phenomenal job. That's just that glove side 2-seam fastball. Comes back, really a big league pitch, starting it off the plate, down the way. Tough one to lay off of and a tough one to hit. He has locked it in. Jonathan Rangel really executing that pitch as good as you could ask.
So 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. And Daniel Orozco comes up for his second at bat. Ball 1. First time up, walked and scored a run. A little late with that swing. It's 1-1.
That high fastball just got on him a little bit. It is tough. Look at this. Look at this shadow. We had sun bright and immediately in the shadow, especially upstairs. You don't know if that's a breaking ball or a fastball.
Yeah,
tough one to lay off. Yeah, right there too.
Yeah, if you're the pitcher, maybe you decide, let's just keep going up there.
I love the fact he's going up early, and now that backdoor 2-seam fastball down the way, that's been his bread and butter, and the hitters don't pick it up. The fastball up is middle. Here we go, set up outside.
And got him with the fastball. Another good inning on the mound. Venezuela trying to claw back in this elimination game. 7-5, Mexico leads. From Maracaibo, which has won 5 straight elimination games. If you go back to the Latin America Regional and also here in Williamsport, there is an intensity to this game right now, an elimination game on both sides. We have gone back and forth, and Venezuela comes up here in the bottom of the 5th, trailing by 2, 7-5. And ball 1 from Angel Castillo to Hendrik Maestre, the catcher, the 8th place hitter. And this is, you've talked about this so many times, when you have the bottom of the order starting an inning, if you can get a base runner or 2 and set things up for the top of the lineup, where Venezuela has had so many good at-bats today, that's your recipe for a big inning.
The successful teams you watch and look around, that leadoff guy getting on is so important, especially at the bottom of this order. Like you said, Dave, coming up, you've got Eric and Angel, Reina, and the big boppers in the 3 and 4 hole. I mean, you've got the boys coming up. Got to get on base here. Down 2, running out of outs.
So 2-1 the count from Angel Castillo, who's now thrown 50 pitches. So he still should have plenty to get the final outs in this game. That one called the ball. That was close.
We talked about the shortage of pitching they have and need to get back to Wednesday if they think they're going to have a chance to get their ace back on the mound, Santiago. But He's done a pretty good job, I think, just having that fastball command and trusting that fastball. Too much off speed for me at times.
That's a strike. 3-2. So full count, 3-2. And I maybe got the benefit of a call. Maybe. I mean, there have been some close ones.
Yeah.
Full count, 3-2. Big pitch here to Hendrik Maestre, leading off in this bottom of the fifth, and he hits that one foul. All the strategy, I mean, we see it in the early rounds, right? Gamesmanship of when do I take a pitcher out? How do I preserve eligibility? That's out the window.
Right.
It's an elimination game. If this is my guy, I'm going with him.
Anything you got to do to win right now, just to get to tomorrow. We'll figure it out when we get to tomorrow, who's going to throw. You never know what might happen, but you got to win today, and especially when you got the lead.
3-2. That one goes behind the hitter. Did it graze the bat or the arm? I think it hit him in the arm. So that is officially a hit batter, and that's a base runner for Venezuela. Sports Center with Kevin Nagandi, 6 Eastern, right here from the Little League World Series. So he's going to break down the best from Williamsport today. The AP Top 25 came out in college football, and then the 49ers Broncos getting you ready for that game, which we will have right here on ESPN tonight. Sports Center, 6 Eastern, right here in Williamsport. Kevin is getting ready. Well, the pitching coach likes to talk for Team Mexico.
Relájense un poquito, diviértanse un poquito más, no hayas que hacer tú para alivianarte. Concéntrense en hacer las cosas mejor, más listos para hacer las cosas bien. Si ustedes no tienen carácter, pónganle un poquito más de carácter, más confianza. ¿Qué van a hacer ahorita con Correa en primera?
Doble play.
Van a tocar la pelota y pónganse listos para hacer las cosas bien. Acuérdense, buenos tiros, un poquito más de carácter, Isaí. Vamos, no te equivoques con los picheos. Lo que esté cerca.
Marcelo.
¿Está bien?
Arriba la cabeza, arriba de los grandes.
Lo que esté cerca ahí. Vamos a tirar el strike, vamos.
Vamos, todos arriba,
All right, so a couple different messages. Have fun, but also what?
Relax, concentrate. It's all have confidence. Be smart. There's a lot of messages there we heard. Have fun. It's always fun. Yeah, do this, do that, but have fun. Which one is it?
Sure, Coach. Well, now, strike one to Brian Apalmo, the 9th place hitter. Davies Ordonez, Mr. Shimmy, is the pinch runner at first base. Davies with the tying run at home plate. Bunt, and a good one. Going to be a tough play. The throw is off the glove, and it starts to roll away. Ordonez coming to third. He'll stop there, and Palmo will stay at first. Nobody out. The tying run is aboard.
What a great bunt laid down by Palmo. Makes it a tough play for Santiago at third base. Great bunt, drops down, but you can't see the sun at first from the first base. We talked about the sun in right field. It's also going to play from the shadow here right to the first baseman at the sun. Sun's hitting him right in the eyes as it's a high throw as well. He looks directly in the sun and just tips off the top of his glove.
And they charged an error on that play. I don't even know if it was a sure thing if the throw was caught, whether he was going to be out or not.
It's always a tough play with that second baseman coming over.
And they charged the error.
Dark shadows.
Yeah, the second baseman. That's a tough error. I guess if he caught it, he would have been out.
Yeah, he would have been out.
I guess he would have been. That was a terrific bunt, though. So now Randy Soto. But we just had a meeting. Now we're going to call time and set the defensive signals.
First and third, whether to throw through. You would assume they would try to throw through and get that out. You don't want that runner to get in scoring position, especially when you're up 2.
Yep. So first and third, nobody out. Great chance here for Venezuela, trailing by 2, 7-5. Angel Castillo throws strike one. And you can tell that the defense is on high alert for a running play. You got speed at both bases, first and third. Randy Soto has had good at-bats all game long. One and one. The reason I brought up the pitch count, not necessarily because, okay, does he have enough pitches to get through the end of this game? More like, at some point, could there be some fatigue that sets in?
Right. That's another thing, especially when you're not one of the main pitchers and pitch that much.
That one bounced and gloved at third. Nice play to get the out at second. A run comes in to score. That was beautifully done by Leija and Orozco. It's a one-run game, and Davies is doing his thing.
Great play by Santiago at third base. First of all, ball hit to his glove side. Tough off the left-handed hitter's bat, reaches out, slides, and a nice throw, and really nicely handled at second base by Daniel Orozco. Tough throw at the belt. Very nice play to get that lead runner. But we got ourselves a ball game.
One-run lead, runner at first, and Jonathan Rangel, who is really the reason that Venezuela still has a chance. His pitching today in relief has given Venezuela this opportunity to come from behind.
He's been the guy. Him and Randy Soto, like you said, some nice swings today, but coming off a base hit his last at bat.
0-1 to count to the left-handed hitter. And he hits that one back to Castillo, who has to hesitate. They'll get the out there. That was a good job not to make a mistake.
The double pump there, I thought, spelled disaster. Nice job of gathering yourself and waiting on your second baseman to get to second base. Ball comes back to him. He's such a great athlete. He knows right what he wants to do with the baseball, but he double pumps and doesn't tap his glove. Nice job on the mound by Angel Castillo.
It's so hard. You have to think when you're 12 years old on this stage, in this ballpark, in a one-run game, in an elimination game, to trust that your fielder is going to get there, to throw ahead of the fielder.
And not even on this stage, on any stage. We see it all the time at the college level, at the big league level. It is tough. Those guys are moving targets, and pitchers aren't used to turning and throwing that direction.
So, tying run at first, 2 outs. And now the big power hitter for Venezuela at the plate. Huge moment in this tournament for both teams. A breaking ball, I think it hit him. Now, Davrik is trying to sell that, and he does get hit. There's good and bad in that, right? Maybe your best hitter gets the bat taken out of his hands, but the tying run is in scoring position. It definitely hit him.
Definitely got him there. He tried to get out of the way of that breaking ball. Just really, Angel Castillo has not had command of that breaking ball. He's been at his best when he's pumping that fastball in there.
So now perhaps a base hit away from tying this game at the bottom of the 5th. All right, he tried it again, and you're right. Now a throw behind the runner at second. But if you're Jonathan Rangel, you cannot get picked off.
You cannot. We saw it happen over on the U.S. side 2 days ago. Back pick from the catcher just like that was impressive.
2 on, 2 out. 1-run game. And a ball inside with a fastball. 2-0 to Luis Atencio.
Luis looks really calm in the plate. The moment is big, but he looks nice and poised with this big at bat on the line here in the 5th.
The error easily could have been a hit, and he grounds that one off the glove and through into right field. Rangel will score the tying run, and now the throw goes over Castillo, and that will put Venezuela ahead. Eight to 7. The team that has staved off elimination so many times is still alive in this Little League World Series.
These boys are going crazy. Nice job staying inside the baseball. Hit it to right, tough play, laid out for the first baseman Herrera, but tough decision here for Alan Gutierrez. Tries to throw it in, just too much on the throw to the center of the field, and everybody's around the bases. Disaster, and pumped up for Venezuela.
An extra run at second. That one fouled back. Rondo Fernandez.
He was excited. That was a big hack. He was swinging at anything up there. The adrenaline is pumping right now for this Venezuelan group.
Trailed by 4 runs back in the 4th. It was 6-2 Mexico.
You could have seen the Venezuelan coach Luis Gonzalez down there at third base was jumping all around when that ball got away and they tied this game.
Amazing. That one almost hit Fernandez. It's 1-1. Well, the hit batters have definitely been a big factor with Castillo on the mound, and almost all of them have come with that breaking ball. The hit batter of Fuenmayor is the go-ahead run right now. 1-2 to Brando Fernandez. Amazing. 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th, 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Back from 4 runs down. They were down 6-2. They were down 7-3. Fernandez is still alive. Now they're 3 outs away from staying alive in this Little League World Series.
And you mentioned it, Dave, talking about the trouble that Mexico, or how Mexico got their big inning was with the walk, the free passes. That's really bit them in the rear end with these hit by pitches here in this inning.
Yep. Different way to issue a rally for free. 1-2, hard ground ball and stabbed by Leja. Santiago throws him out. Well, what a game we've had here on the international side. Venezuela down by 4 just an inning ago. Luis, whose family is watching back in Maracaibo, and Venezuela's got a chance to win it.
The Little League World Series is presented by T-Mobile. Home or away, T-Mobile now connects 99% of Little League families on America's network. And in part by Philadelphia Cream Cheese. It must be the Philly. And Hyundai.
What an incredible game here on the international side. Mexico and Venezuela right from the start, and I mean that literally, from the first hitter of the game, have just gone at it. And we've had celebrations, we've had big emotion, we've had disappointment, we've had intensity.
Comeback kids, this Venezuelan team, for me, these kids know how to stave off elimination. They are with the lead going ahead the top of the 6th.
Yeah, really remarkable. Welcome back to the Little League World Series on ESPN, presented by T-Mobile on this gorgeous Williamsport day. We have had arguably the game of the tournament so far. Venezuela, as Rossi just mentioned it, 5 straight elimination game wins between Williamsport and back in the Latin American Regional, and now 3 outs away from another one. Top of the 6th, leading 8-7. And the kid who has saved this game for Venezuela on the mound, trying to finish it out.
Jonathan Rangel been coming in and really punching tickets. First inning in, 2 of 3. Second inning, 2 of 3. Really only giving up a fly ball that got lost in the sun. The only run he's given up after a 2-out walk. And then last inning, striking out 2 of the 3 batters. He has been their MVP this game. A kid that's kept them in the game and given them a chance to come back.
Absolutely. Just a great job by Jonathan. So now the count 0-2 to Carlos Moreno, Mexico, which had the 4-run lead 2 different times in this game. And a good swing by Carlos. It's still 0-2.
And remember that play at the plate in the 4th inning. Ball got by the catcher, Hendrik Maestro, and Jonathan Rangel came in, slid in at that tag, tagged that base runner sliding into home plate. A great play by the pitcher and catcher that really kept them in the ball game and got them out of that inning.
It's true. So that part of the difference, part of the reason why Venezuela's got the lead, that one got the umpire. And Hendrik Maestre checking to make sure that Matthew is okay. No, just when you look like that, just shrug it off. He's had a great game. He has had a great game behind home plate.
And he's from Quebec. He's probably hockey. He's probably really tough. Hockey tough.
I think that's true. So it's 1-2. A target outside. And a pitch right there for strike 3 call. Venezuela is 2 outs away. Can you imagine right now what it's like in those living rooms with moms and dads and siblings?
They're dancing, they're cheering, and they keep seeing this fastball painted down away. This one runs back over middle, but that short arm, nice delivery, smooth, easy motion. Little Mariano Rivera-esque.
Just makes it look easy. I like it. So 1 out. And here's Emiliano Ondarza. Mexico needs a base runner.
moving the outfield over. They want to take a little bit of a pause.
Yep. Get the defense set up. Ibrahim Ruiz, he went to about 6 different spots there. He's finally found where his coaches want him in center field. Up and away. Can Jonathan Rangel dig deep and get these final 2 outs? What a performance by a kid who did not start, wasn't the second pitcher in, has come in and saved this game.
Ball.
Wow, close. 1-1. I think a little pep talk from his catcher.
I think what we've noticed really for Jonathan, the only struggles he's had is against the left-handed hitters. He doesn't quite have the control on that arm side. He got that run that just runs away from him. When there's a right-handed hitter in there, it gives you that extension, that little visual that you don't want to hit the batter, and you get out in front a little bit more.
Yeah, interesting. I think you're right about that. So it's 2-0. 2 outs away, Venezuela is from keeping their Little League World Series championship hopes alive. They have come from 4 runs behind. That is a strike. Darza ran up like he might bunt. I think he was going to take a pitch.
Yeah, just trying to be a little distractive there, trying to get on base, trying to get base runners, making sure Jonathan Rangel is going to throw strikes.
That one is on the ground to short. Gobbled up there. The throw is right there. Apalmo makes the play. Remember, you got your regular shortstop on the mound, and Brian Apalmo comes up with a big play.
I love how low he stayed to the ground right there. That ball is a typical ball. You want to get early. Had plenty of time to get to it early, stay down and threw it for out number 2. And Venezuela is 1 out away to moving on.
A 1-run elimination game in the last inning. 1 out away. And Elliot Sanchez going to try to keep this game going for Mexico. Can Jonathan Rangel finish it off? His first pitch to Sanchez is a good one.
That's his bread and butter. Down away that fastball. We haven't seen a lot of breaking balls from Rangel. Really done a good job of just locating the fastball. It's tough to hit, especially with these shadows.
The 0-1. That one is fouled off. Mexico's down to their final strike, and Jonathan, he knows it.
He wants the crowd into it. He wants them pumped up. He wants to feel that energy here for this last strike.
Can you imagine a team here without their parents because of all the problems in Venezuela, on their own? 1 strike away, and that one went right over Elliot Sanchez.
That's exactly what happens when the adrenaline starts pumping. You get out of control of your body. But you're right, Dave. When you get this kind of energy from these fans, the Venezuelan fans that have come from all over the country to support their country and this team and this group, just says a lot. Feeling it. These players are really excited and pumped up.
It's a cool story, but still an out to get. 1-2 to Elliot Sanchez. And he got him. Strike 3 swinging. Venezuela, a 6th consecutive elimination game win. And an inspirational performance here today to end the title hopes of Mexico and stay alive in the Little League World Series.
I really thought this game was going to be over after that 2nd inning, and Venezuela is used to being down, coming back in the elimination games. These kids fought hard. Jonathan Rangel, we can't say enough. Largest comeback in the 2019 Little League World Series here for Venezuela. What great character from these kids.
And that kid, Jonathan Rangel, was just awesome.
I mean, coming in from shortstop, like you said, 3rd pitcher they used today, and just said, I've got us, boys. Give them a chance to fight back. That's all you need when you're on offense. You need just some zeros put up. Let us have some good at-bats. Mexico couldn't quite put the nail in the coffin to end these kids' trip here at Little League World Series. Great fought battle by both teams. Really impressed with both groups here today. What a great game we had.
And now a moment to contemplate what they just accomplished. Really, really remarkable. They were down and out today, weren't they?
It felt like this game was over. And then Jonathan Rangel toes the rubber, and this is exactly what he does. 4-seam fastball, just running over the outside corner, back to the middle, and we're fired up. Hendrik Maestro battled his tail off back there behind the plate. You see the emotion from these two. Vamos, let's go. We're fired up. Venezuela moves on.
They earn that celebration. What a game. What a hard-fought game on both sides. And this one had it all. Appreciative of all the support that they are getting. I'm sure thinking about their families back home. But they get to play at least one more here in Williamsport. So, our final score here from Williamsport. Venezuela comes from behind again, and they beat Mexico 8-7. For David Ross, Dave Fleming saying so long. What great theater. We're going to come back with more after this, but it's time for Sports Center right now.